worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight.
and gentlemen, we are back, bringing you Week 7 of the Lotus Primrose League, bringing Dreadzone Gaming Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith. Already hitting the draft hard with a Seraphine ban and a Jin ban coming from, I'm guessing the bot lane call there from DZG Olympus' side, and Catalyst Wraith has answered with Shen, and their second ban is soon to come. I am joined tonight by Silent Elements, joining me back to back for another week, so I'm glad to have him here. Silent, how you doing, man?
I am doing well. How about you, Jace?
I am doing all right. Had a full week of work. Finally over most of the sinus infection, except my throat is sore, so hoping for a 2-0 tonight as Thresh and Lux go ahead and join us here in the band. So a very bot lane focused band phase already. We've got four, some flexes around here and there with the Lux, but we've got four bot lane bands, and Corky coming out from Catalyst Wraith taking that away from Mobster Penguin. So do you feel like all of these are pretty much warranted coming out from either side?
Honestly, I think the Shen ban surprises me most from Catalyst Wraith. I feel like Scoops has been, or Mobster Penguin has been eating most of the bans lately.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's
Uh,
been performing extremely well, but hey, we see with that Jinx not being touched on either side for the ban phase, definitely a great first pickup here. I'm really hoping that Reels is able to pilot this extremely well in the bot lane and get it to its full effectiveness.
yeah, I'm hoping the Catalyst Wraith was expecting that just because Jinx is so strong right now. We'll see what they have. Victor.
Yep, Victor. So we know that Scoops, or I'm sorry, Mobster Penguin, has been enjoying that champion. Last week he went 2-0 with it when he was allowed to have it in just absolute beast damage numbers coming out on this champion. And one of his comfortable picks into that matchup is the Corki. So I'm really interested to see what kind of draft adaptation we're going to get out of Aiden. For those that don't know, just joining us, that is the coach for DZG Olympus. What kind of draft adaptation we're going to get out of that mid lane to really be able to help with that Victor. And that lockdown from Jarvan coming out is going to be extremely helpful, especially to lock them in that Chaos Storm coming out from the mid laner of Catalyst Wraith. So um, that's always an annoying combination to have, and Jarvan offers so much. Just A, long distance engage, but also B, he's able to come at different angles from the flag and drag. So DCG looking like a tried and true support coming in here with the Rakan pick that will be locked in, and there's your bot lane right now. So what do we think we're gonna get from this last pick here?
It should be a response in jungle. Yeah.
And it
To
is a
the
response
aggro.
in jungle. Now, Catalyst Wraith, go ahead and just opt to go ahead and pick their probably the last or the counter to the bot lane, going for the range option of the Caitlyn to handle the Rakan Jinx. But Rakan can be a little bit obnoxious, so we'll see how that goes. But how do you feel about the Jinx Rakan combination there in the bot lane?
I think that because of how immobile Jinx is, Rakan offers some disengage opportunities as well as some engage opportunities for Jinx, especially lets her scale in the long run, but also allows the roam for Rakan to also help with Hecarim, so they might actually sit on mid lane.
Certainly. Well, they don't seem too concerned about mid lane options here to take away and protect the victor with it, especially since they went with such an early pick on the red side. I fully expect to see a support pick coming in next for Catalyst Wraith and making sure they get the counter for their top lane. But they are definitely investing some tools into that right now. So, what do you think DZG really need to do to answer this victor?
So I'm trying to think of Mobster Penguin's champ pool, and I'm seeing a lot of. I think that there's an answer, hopefully an answer with a mage. I'm not sure which mage. There's Rise. There's several mages that Mobster Penguin is supremely familiar with, but he also might also opt for that auction. Although I don't remember if that bug has been fixed yet.
Uh, Always a bug champion. I was playing the game the other day, and a Kled just teleported out of nowhere after I heard the horn. So, man, I can never trust Riot to fix anything. But it will not be an Orianna, as we do see Orianna Malphite taken away from DCG Olympus, and they went ahead and said no Camille, no set either. As we expected, Nautilus coming in to round out that bot lane. We see the Jinx Rakan, we see the Caitlyn Nautilus, and now we're waiting on DZG to pick up the last two to round out their comp. They're opting in for the blind Orn here potentially for the scaling options that it presents. Really gonna enable that Jinx late game to be an absolute monster, and it does come in. So now I'm really excited to see this mid lane pick coming in from DZG Olympus. And they opt for a silent element special here. Let's see if it actually gets locked in. But that long range artillery, really offering kind of a split personality. In a sense, if that does get locked in, how you feeling about how the team needs to synergize together?
I think as long as Hecarim doesn't find himself too far in front of his entire team, I honestly think that DZG has an opportunity to poke with their comp as well as engage or disengage. I think their team seems to be fairly balanced. Meanwhile, Catalyst Wraith, if they do lock in that Mordekaiser, seems more engaged than disengaged. The only one that seems to disengage would be Victor's W. Other than that, it's just pure engage.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of identity options here on either side, as we are seeing the finality of these drafts come in. So Orn into Mordekaiser, like if he times it right, he can utilize that W to such heavy effect. Um, to actually negate it. So it's not as clean as the Gangplank Orange coming out from the Orn, but if he does see that base pointed towards him, he can pop that Bellows Breath, mitigate the CC because it is a CC effect. But now we let's go top down. Orn Orn into the Mordekaiser. How you feeling?
I think it's a wet noodle fight, provided that no one takes too much damage from one side or the other. I think there's not going to be much happening unless one of the junglers can make something happen in the top lane to swing the favor in one side or the other.
Well, we have extremely gank heavy options here. We have the Jarvan and the Hecarim. I know that you've been playing the Hecarim quite a bit yourself in some of your solo queue games. How you feeling about the picks for both sides here?
I feel like Hecarim seems really strong right now, his mobility and engage, but Jarvan also offers that same similar um, gank heavy opportunities. So honestly, I think it's a little bit balanced. It just depends on who can make their appearance first in the lanes and make a difference.
Certainly. Mid lane?
Mid lane, I will always prefer my Xerath, but I'm also concerned about Mobster Penguin's positioning. He tends to position a little bit more forward than a lot more mages are comfortable with. So I think it really depends on who can poke who out. Victor can use his E, and Xerath can use his Q. It's gonna be who lands their abilities more, as well as if they can avoid the ganks that are going to come from the junglers.
Certainly. And I know we already talked a little bit about the bot lane here, but kind of going back into the discussion of the team identities, we have Dreadzone who have that option to really stay back, kind of play from afar, utilize the Orn Horn and the Hacker and Molt for disengage options. Now, Mordekaiser can kind of maybe throw a little shift into the mix there by taking somebody to the Death Realm for what, 6 seconds? 8 seconds? I can't remember exactly. I think it's 8. Um, so that's always an option to throw a little bit of a shift into the mix there. But um, do you feel this game is really just about how either team is able to find the opportunities and play to their identity, or do you feel like one team here has a distinct advantage over the other?
I honestly think that both teams have the same opportunity to win this game, but it's really going to come down to can they play to their identity? Can they make the picks that they need as well as get the objectives early in the game so that it doesn't carry too long? Once it carries too long, it seems to favor more on DZG side simply because they have the scaling of these are at the Ornn items as well as Jinx, while Catalyst only have Victor.
Right. I definitely agree with you. If this game goes long, it does get a little bit chaotic. I think DZG Olympus are primed to win. However, that's also taking into consideration how much they love to drop game ones just to ruin my day a little bit. Now, seeing the names coming out here from the either team, because I did not check up beforehand. The Caitlyn is named I'm a Jin Cell, so that probably explains the second pan Jin there, so they definitely want to take away from that. And I really want to see how this team is able to play. I want to see some of their identity. Like you saw last week how the team wanted to play around, the Mundo. Game 3, they did not for that strategy, and it fell apart. So definitely want to see how this team's identity is. And, DZG Olympus put a lot of resources to deny the bot lane in the first part of the draft phase. So definitely excited to see how these games are going to pan out. Definitely excited to hopefully have a good series here. Any closing comments before we head into our spectate delay?
Absolutely not. I think we're in for a good game as long as no one throws.
As long as nobody throws. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to head into our 3-minute spectate delay. Hang tight, and we'll bring you DZG Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith, Game 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back bringing you into Game 1 of Dreadzone Gaming Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith. As both teams take on to the Rift, we're seeing some pings come out, but the fan outs are looking like a 5-point start. Nothing too crazy just yet. So no invade options here that we're seeing, so uh, it's hopefully we get a little bit of action. I know Jarvan at least historically goes red buff into a level 2 to level 3 gank. So hopefully we get a little bit of that as Mobster Penguin going ahead and hitting him with the Blitzcrank emote as he hits him with the W. So all fun and games. I don't know if he has Mana Flow Ban or anything else like that. I can only see that he has Comet. But how are you expecting the lane states to go? Anything crazy that you're expecting to see out of that?
Within bot lane, I think that Jinx just wants to scale while Kate wants to be a lane bully, so it's gonna be dependent on seeing if they get to play their roles in this game, whether or
Hmm.
not Jinx tries to force an early fight into Caitlyn, or whether Caitlyn is unable to be a bully and actually Jinx is just free CSing. Mid lane will just be a poke fest, while top lane should just be a wet noodle fight.
So we're going to see one of two things here from the Jarvan. Either he's showing that he wants to focus around on the spot side of the map because he's starting top side, that, or he's going to go for this red buff level 2 gank onto the Lord. So um, I'm hoping it's the latter, just because I hope Tofu doesn't fall prey to it. He's not really super mobile in this champion. Might be able to play it out with a W, but we will see what Jarvan opts to do as he now goes over to his Krug. So I'm not sure what we'll see out of that, as we're just seeing the typical poke battle here in the mid lane. Both champions do what they do. Um, but yeah, where are you expecting things to maybe break open? Maybe mid game? Are you maybe expecting anybody to fight around the dragon fight, or what do you when are you really expecting the tempo to increase?
I really feel like the tempo can increase at any time given the fact that they have gank heavy junglers, but I really do think that once we start getting to level 6 when everyone has their ults, that things will start really picking up the pace, especially if people choose to contest that objectives early before people have their items that they need for the fights.
Certainly, and there's a lot of big ticket item ults here. We have the Hecarim, Ornn, we have the Rakan. But yeah, we're seeing it, and that will actually force out Mobster Penguin's flash here, as the Flag and Drag does come into the mid lane. Did not go into the top, as he opted to go for Red Krugs, Wolves, and probably going to look down here on his blue and then Scuttle. So, hey, successful gank coming in here from Shady Gecko on that Jarvan. We're seeing a hook connect here. Probably not going to be much more out of that, as Ginshu is extremely slippery on this Rakan. So, but hey, if you're a Catalyst Wraith fan, that's exactly what you want to be seeing this early. So
Especially with both mid lane and bot lane ahead in CS at the moment.
yeah, certainly. I mean, it's gold's super even right now. Tofu farming decently well so far, but everywhere else it's a little bit of a deficit for the side of DZG. So yeah, that is pretty feels good. But kind of like we said, things probably just gonna be business as normal here until we see another game come in. Now, we do see that DZG Heartbreak is in a spot to maybe look for Victor. Victor hanging a little bit about the bot side, so is he gonna look for it? We see some fighting breaking out here. Genshu was no, not ignited. He just stepped in a trap. Something happened mid lane, but it wasn't enough to get a flash out. So everything is just big chillin'.
Well, this is the infamous top wet noodle fight.
Yep, top wet noodle fight and Octofu just sort of awkwardly walking away. And first Drake is going to be the Hextech Drake, so will not be a Hextech Rift. Unfortunately, that is actually one of my more favorite ones to see how the teams utilize those Rift gates for sure.
Hoping that we don't get another Cloud Soul.
If we get what was that all 3 games last time, or did we get it changed up in game 3? I couldn't remember.
I feel like it was at least 2 of the 3 games that we got.
No, I thought the 3rd game was the Kim Tank's soul.
I think it might have been.
But that game also went super quick. They might not even had a soul in that game because the kill kind of got run over. DZG Heartbreak kind of just stepping up here in the bot lane. Not going to probably be doing too much, as they actually look like they might be heading up for an immediately on start of this Drake, and that's actually what they're going to be doing. immediately going for this Drake here. So DZG prioritizing the neutral objectives here, and hopefully that pans out in their favor. And they're already sitting on a 100 gold lead, which whatever. It's just the minute CS leads, but that shows that each lane is pretty much going even right now, which definitely means that we need to see something really break open this game.
Yeah, it's just, we're looking at the Jarvan counter jungling, and he's at Wolves right now, and I'm not sure if DZG Heartbreak knows that at the moment. So we may see a little fight earlier than expected if they do find each other in the jungle. But it looks like DZG Heartbreak's just gonna back.
Well, hopefully that doesn't put Xerath in a bad position. If he steps up to get that wave a little bit, Jarvan decides to cancel this recall, which he did. We're seeing the ping come out now. Xerath still does not have access to his flash. It looks like it's going to be coming up in about another 45 seconds to a minute. So this could be very bad for Mobster Penguin. He's starting to walk away. Hits the stun. Will not be enough. Gets locked up. But Genshu is here in the mid lane. Gets knock up on Shady Gecko. Will there be any follow-up damage? The answer is no. He decides to ultimate. Hits. Does not hit the last one. Shady Gecko, I think, will walk this one out. But that was really close. If that last artillery or arcane barrage connected from Mobster Penguin, then that would have been a kill onto Shitty Gecko for sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see if Mobster Penguin continues to use his ult like a machine gun, or if he's going to pace his ults a little bit further apart.
Yeah, that was a quick 1-2-3, and also another thing to connect or to talk with is that if that Q didn't or if that Q connected, that could have been the kill there as well. So could have been cleaner, but hey, he lived, and a good roam from Genshu almost turned that around completely. Now, both here are level 6 up at the top lane. Mordekaiser just smacking him with the mace, walking away, does not opt to use to pull him into the death realm. I did not actually look to see if Tofu had the W available to see if Mordekaiser could get that off cleanly, but, the first death realm is always fun to watch to see how the other top laner reacts, see if he panics, if he's able to get out, forced to use flash. So Death Realm offering a lot of tools there if it's ever decided to be used. So yeah, just a whole bunch of things on this map that I'm excited to see, and the little state of the early game just always kind of puts you to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the timing of when we're looking at this map, but DZG has a lot of wards out. They can have a lot of vision, while I can only see one control ward on for Catalyst.
I think they had two. One of them was placed in the mid lane. That one was definitely cleared out. But yeah, they're not making sure that their control game in the early is on point. Herald coming up, and we are seeing a red ping for it, so maybe that's something that Shady Gecko is wanting to prioritize. Maybe try to accelerate the other top lane in their favor a little bit and try to get the tempo advantage, so Mordekaiser will not get outscaled later. I mean, he's always going to be a threat, but ornaments coming in later, putting that experience deficit can be extremely beneficial. We are seeing the play bot lane as DZG Heartbreak does get the ultimate on the Helper 08. Helper 08 will fall. I think it was the ticket of the Ignite plus the swinging Qs coming out from Hecarim, but that will be First Blood going over to DZG. And yeah, we see exactly what we thought. They're answering there on the top side of the map, so gold shouldn't swing too far out of question here, but this is a team that put a lot of resources into the bot lane. And it seems like they're going to keep putting those resources in from the DZG side of the house. Mobster Penguin has flash available. Shady Gecko goes in, but he won't even need to use the flash here. Members of DZG are here as the one horn comes out. DZG Heartbreak looking, does not have ult available. Genshu gets a knockup. Catasoul goes down as the final ticket damage does go over to DZG Heartbreak. 4 members just coming out of nowhere into the DZG mid lane. That is absolutely phenomenal. DZG Reels now fighting under this. Caitlyn has the ult available. Will he actually decide to use it? Will throw it out. Will not connect, as that was both summoners used from Jincell, and DZG Reels making it look easy. DZG across the map just making a statement. Catalyst Wraith took a Herald. DZG took 2 lives, almost 3, as they're going to get some plates here as well. Silent, that is what you want to see from a DZG perspective, as they're seeing the pings coming out now for Cloud Drake in 56 seconds.
So honestly, it's a great thing to see that DZG is kind of being preemptive, because if they can get this Jinx further ahead before this game reaches mid game, it's just going to be one-sided unless DZG throws it. I am curious to see how Jarvan plans to use that Rift Herald, simply because he's been prioritizing mid lane, so I'm not sure if they're gonna try to use it. And we've noticed that each time that Zerath has used his stun, it's always been targeted at the Jarvan, and he's always landed his EQ. So I'm curious to see if he's going to make an adjustment and actually hit the Victor from catching up. Otherwise, he wouldn't even have an opportunity to use his bubble.
Well, we are seeing a teleport coming into the mid lane, and this does look like Catalyst Wraith want to prioritize this Drake right here. But it's a fantastic point. You saw the resources going down. Now, unfortunately, Jinx didn't get the kill. But 20 CS down, and, you know, everybody else everywhere else, and Jinx still almost got the solo kill onto Amajinso. Second Drake will fall, and it does look like it will fall for the side of Catalyst Wraith. Drake's score now 1-1. They're still sitting on the Herald here, so they still have the Herald play available, as DZG Heartbreak opted to clear his topside jungle. Seeing some preparation here from Nautilus, as he might be looking for something cheeky, but none of the DZG members are going to be walking that way to give him the option. So things kind of just fizzling out again, and I think they will pretty much fizzle out until that Herald gets popped, I think. Genshu playing around in this melee battle. Looks really awkward. Ultimate coming out here. Genshu opting to go in, but does not get the damage. Forced to go golden here, as now DCG Heartbreak goes in. I stand corrected. Shady Gecko will now be focused down as DCG Reels picks up that kill. Now Chaos Storm goes big and actually will knock up, yes, and will take down both Heartbreak and DCG Reels here. As Monster Penguin, a little late to the fight, was not able to get there in time. That supportal combat was looking really awkward, and DZG just thought that they had the strength there on the bot side, but Catalyst Wraith come up with 2 kills for 1. I'm sorry, 3 kills for 1. Ugh.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like DZG was salvaging. Genshu was definitely caught out, and he should have just been left to rot. I'm not really sure the rotation from the Ornn. He definitely had a lead in CS top from when Mordekaiser roamed. And I think he could have honestly stayed in top lane and just continued with his gold lead, since Mord really did not have to rotate since there was no one contesting that dragon. The Cloud Dragon really only helps Victor with his, well, he's not even running phase rush, so it really helps the Victor gets to use his abilities. But it looks like top lane is just gonna have another wet noodle fight.
Wet noodle fights for days, and you know we're seeing a lot of damage coming out here from Catalyst Soul's Victor. Him getting a kill there, and Caitlyn also getting the kill there was beneficial. Herald opted to drop mid, as this Caitlyn's now sitting on 150 gold bounties, feeling pretty comfortable right now. So it is a benefit for DZG that they got the kill on onto the Jinx, but you know 2 kills on Caitlyn and a kill on the Victor is sad news bear for the side of DZG for sure. And you know, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it's just the Victor the Victor being there first and the Xerath not really being able to rotate ideally just really set that play so far behind. And I don't know what Genshu was thinking, just trading melees with with Nautilus there, but we are seeing now the play come out. Ultimate use from Nautilus onto Reels, who gets then put into the Cataclysm for the Jarvan, but DCG Heartbreak opts to go for the Caitlyn, gets the shutdown on that. The gold will actually be going over to Reels. Shady Gecko now being the target, hit by Super Mega Death Rocket. Shady Gecko tries to go back in, does not get the Q to follow up. Ultimate coming in from Xerath, who teleported down the bot lane, will connect on the Nautilus, will not be enough. DCG Heartbreak might be looking for it, as they then focus their aim onto that bot lane tower, and DCG getting, you know, 2 quick kills there. One of them going over to the Jinx and the other one going over to the Hecarim. Feels real good for DCG to make up for that fiasco in the river. Silent, how do you feel about that?
It was definitely heavily in favor of the of DZG, but I am noticing that mid lane for Mobster Penguin's suffering a little because he has 0 kill participation. And he's also falling behind in CS, even though Xerath has that range. So it's going to be interesting to see how, if the mid lane gap is going to become even larger.
Now,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to finish off with, with the amount of resources that they're spending on mid lane, it is understandable why there is a gap, but since Victor is able to free farm, so it is definitely going to make an impact on who's going to have what items eventually.
Well, we might be seeing a little bit of action here as Genshu goes in. I think Death Realm is available. Death Realm looks like it was used. DZG Heartbreak chilling in here, but the members of DZG available to maybe help out as soon as it ends, but Pagaraki is just able to walk away. And looks like they will be the ones jockeying for position here, as we'll see a little bit of a dance. But kind of going back to the point that I was going to make is I think everything broke out before 14 minutes. I might not get the chance here as this Herald is starting up. 4 members of DZG dancing around this. Mobster Penguin sitting a little low on mana here. DZG have some tools available coming up just shortly as they are trying to get away. Looks like we will have the Ornhorn come down. We're bouncing back and forth between the fights. The Herald resets. I guess the Ornhorn did not connect in the bot lane as DZG are now in full prime position. Nautilus is recalling right now. We're seeing some maybe pings go out to aim for this Drake. That will be spawning in 5 seconds. So they say, hey, look, we're not going to go ahead and get this Herald. We're actually going to opt for the Drake. And I think that's probably the right call, especially since you're post-plate phase here. Now, kind of going back into talking about that bot lane play, I don't know if it was Mobster Penguin's decision to pull the trigger there, or maybe somebody called for him. It was probably the former. But that was pre-14 minutes when everything broke out. You did not have the Unleashed teleport available, so he could only teleport to that tower. So not having the prime position, yeah, sure, Xerath has long range, but all you're able to utilize is the ultimate. And by the time that he got there and started, popping off shots, the only one that was alive was Nautilus, who was sitting pretty healthy. So I just think you save it, farm up, scale up, do what you got to do, and not even consider teleporting down to that bot lane play pre-14 minutes. But that's just my opinion.
I think it's been a while since we've had all the turrets standing at 16 minutes.
Yeah, certainly, and especially since both Heralds were taken. Now, DZG have the Herald here. Actually, did they already use it? Yeah, they already used it.
Yes, they use it on mid turret.
Mid tower, and didn't actually get it. So, I stand corrected on that. But yeah, that is. The game still has a lot of potential to break open. Shaded Gecko here now looking for Mobster Penguin again, who instantly flashes the Cataclysm. I don't even think he took the damage from the Cataclysm with that flash, but he opts to utilize his ultimate, goes machine gun yet again, and actually doesn't connect with any of them. So Mobster Penguin not looking 100% comfortable in this era, so you might not be able to see what you want, but I've been surprised by him multiple times. I'm sure he'll get it together by the time we're ready for those big team fights.
I'm curious if this lane rotation is going to stay, because at the moment Ornn is facing Victor while Xerath is facing Mordekaiser. So it's going to be interesting to see if they really want that matchup to continue, and simply because that Xerath is getting abused. And
well, I expect to see Death Realm come out here, and it does. So Mobster Penguin's going to be running away from this Mordekaiser does not have his flash available. Ticking, gets the stun. Will it be enough? The final Q comes down, and Pagarok gets the solo kill right there. So you're just talking about how that might not be ideal for DZG, and you were absolutely right. It was not, as Pagarok getting the solo kill on a Mobster Penguin, who's just not having the greatest of games today. Getting a lot of bullying going on here from the Jarvan, and the skill shots just not connecting. Tofu looking a little bit in trouble here. Forced to use the W to deny the flag and drag. Genshu going in now, gets the charm. Ornhorn comes up and connects. They're taking a lot of damage from that Chaos Storm. Nautilus flashes forward, will connect with Genshu. DZG Heartbreak ults away with the unstoppable onslaught. And now it looks like the play will just fizzle out. Nautilus looking for more. Pagarok teleported to the bot lane, and Mobster Penguin coming here to hopefully defend this bot lane tower. But no deaths coming up on what I thought was going to be a very bloody play, but a lot of disengaged tools available, as looks like DZG Heartbreak opting to go for the mid tower. First tower will actually fall to the side of Catalyst Wraith.
if he does manage to get that mid turret, it will be in favor of DZG, just because that is mid turret, and it's so important for that mid turret to be down to contest either side of the objectives.
It just blows the map wide open. Compared to a bot lane tower, which does give you some pressure, for Drakes and everything, if that's what they want to go for. Now, unfortunately, it's a Mountain Soul, so won't see too much of it. As another 4 quick shots coming in. DZG Heartbreak, those for the Caitlyn, instantly flashes away to deny the charge there, knocking her back into the enemy team. But Caitlyn Flash is a great tool to deny the enemy team here, so good heads-up play from DZG Heartbreak to get that summoner away from the 80 carry of Catalyst Wraith.
At the moment, it looks like DZG is trying to just hold on for dear life and hope that they can get to the game to stand out a little bit longer, so they can get some Ornn items as well as some scaling from their Jinx.
I mean, this game going slow is what DZG wants. You're absolutely right. So, like, these fights kind of going even back and forth, as long as they're not getting blown out of the water, it's comfortable. And apparently DZG Heartbreak does not want to deal with Mordekaiser. He opts to go in here for the Quicksilver Sash. So Mordekaiser hopefully is hitting the tab button. We'll be able to see that and knows that DZG Heartbreak is not somebody that he can bring into the Death Realm with him.
And it will also help him in case he more decides to use his Death Realm on someone else at Victor's bubble. If he happens to find himself there, that he can use it then as well.
Certainly, and now, just kind of doing a quick item check, we do see the stopwatch here available for the Victor. We do see that QSS available. Otherwise, it's a very relative timeless game, as not too many people going into the watch shop and picking up some of those timepieces. So 14 seconds on the Drake. We've really seen a lot of priority here from Catalyst Wraith on this objective. So Tower will fall. I believe that was the top lane going down. Teleport now coming out from Ornn. He's going to be joining this dance here. Caitlyn's got the traps down. Poke's starting to come out a little bit here, as we do see the Xerath ultimate coming out super early to really chunk down this. Caitlyn almost does get the kill. Super Mega Death Rocket will get tanked up by Mordekaiser. That's 2 ults down. Tofu said he's going for it. Opts to use it onto Shady Gecko. Fight now breaking out. I think that's DZG Heartbreak going for the kill, but does not get it onto the Caitlyn. The Chaos Storm now catching up with the rest of the members. DZG Ginshu will fall to Catasoul. Now Shady Gecko going on to Reels. Reels looking like he's in trouble. He will fall. Shutdown going over to the Victor. Damage comes out. Mobster Penguin does connect onto Shady Gecko to get the kill. However, that will also be Tofu falling. Now 4 members dead. DZG. Mobster Penguin the only member left alive, as I think this Drake has to go in favor of Catalyst Wraith. And DZG, they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. 4 members dead for 1, and that is not in their favor.
No, not. I don't believe that DZG should have even bothered contesting for this, simply because Xerath is super far behind. He doesn't even have his second item yet. And Jinx has finally got her rune-ins and Kraken, but she still can't get past that front line. It's just way too beefy. I think an LDR is hopefully the third item that we're gonna see from Jinx.
And I'm not sure what entirely happened there, because the Death Realm from Mordekaiser is so very hard to see. I'm not sure if there was the ultimate onto Heartbreak and he was just a little slow to get out of it. But it took him so long to come out and go onto that Caitlyn, utilize his ultimate to try to kill the Caitlyn, that he connected with her, but the damage never followed up. I don't even think he was able to get a Q out onto Caitlyn. But they poked out Caitlyn, they had the position, and then they pulled the Ornhorn. And the only person that they got with the Ornhorn was Shady Gecko. And Tofu didn't even follow up onto Shady Gecko, and I think he went in to help with the rest of the fray. So it just looked like a very scattered fight from DZG, and they just also didn't have the damage coming out from this era that they needed. I think they should have played it a little bit more patient, jockeyed up the battle position and the battle lines, and really looked for that Drake. So definitely something to look at for the team to go maybe identify where things went wrong. But, I mean, they're still sitting at a gold lead. Yes, the Drake tempo is now definitely not in their favor. They have to worry about soul point a little bit. And I say only a little bit because it's a mountain soul. It's not the best soul for them to get or to lose. But you said it earlier. They need to slow down the game, keep the game slow. They have the scaling options available. Xerath opted to go for the artillery again. I'm not sure why it's having us look at him as he connects 2 quick bursts onto Caitlyn here. But they don't have to look for stuff like that. They just slow down, wait for Ornn to start getting his Zord items. So I think he starts getting them here in a level, right? They don't have to index themselves into a fight. Shady Gecko is going to take a lot of damage here as DZG Heartbreak gets onto him, knocks him back into the team. A beautiful 3-man knockup for the side of Ginshu. Damage falling up as DG Real is sitting in a little bit of a dangerous position. Ops to frontline, will get pulled into Death Realm. I don't think he's going to be able to take down the Mordekaiser as Pagarok does take him down. Ornhorn comes in, does connect. Mordekaiser probably will not get away, as just kidding, they will split the focus back onto the Nautilus. It looks like things will fizzle out. Caitlyn opts to ult in. Damage not looking in their favor. The Nautilus hook will not connect, and I think DZG just walk away from this one. Caitlyn playing a little bit on the front line. It is a 1-for-1. DZG Reels falls, but so does Shady Gecko. And hey, I think that's kind of worse still here for DZG. Taking the even trades is fine. Getting the gold into your hyper carry is fine. And denying that mid lane tower is fine. Now, I think Caitlyn went a little too far ahead. Should have had maybe a little bit more of a frontline threat there. But I think ultimately that's fine for DZG here, Silent.
Yeah, I'm just noticing the items for Xerath, and I think I was honestly hoping that he'd go with the Leandry's build. I get that Crown of the Shattered Queen is super strong at the moment, but I think he offers more if he had gone for Leandries instead of the Crown of the Shattered Queen.
There aren't too many taking members available for the side of Catalyst Wraith, but that burn effect is fantastic, so I do agree. First ornament coming out will, of course, be Ornn's item. He should be very close to 14 here. And we're seeing these pings come out for the Drake from both DZG and from the side of Catalyst Wraith. So DZG are going to want to deny them the
Mountain
soul here.
Soul.
But Caitlyn is, or sorry, not Caitlyn, Jinx is sitting on this Runaan's Hurricane here, Silent. So this fight could go a little bit more in their favor if they posture correctly, if they are sitting in an ideal position to really let this Jinx free fire and not sitting in the front lane. The issue is we still do not see the second item coming out of Xerath, who looks like he's going for that Rabadon second. So damage going to be a little bit lower here, but it's going to be all about positioning here, I think. And DZG right now jockeying for the prime position. They do not have the Scuttle Crab available here, as we do see. So some things to consider is we still got 45 seconds on this objective. So who do you favor going into this fight with perfect position?
At the moment, it does seem like Catalyst is basically taking charge of the way that they're running this. Meanwhile, DZG is trying to pick off this Mordekaiser, who we all know is gonna ult.
Well, he can't ult DZG Heartbreak here. It will actually maybe... Yeah, he opts to go for Genshu, who pops the ult, runs away. Tofu sitting in a little bit of an awkward position, as his name implies. Will be forced to flash out. Genshu will fall to Pagarok here, as now damage getting focused onto Pagarok. Pagarok is shut down. Ornhorn now coming out. Nautilus getting the knockup onto Reels. Damage coming out. Shady Gecko going back in. Will try to look for the knockup. Ornn go ahead and uses the Bellows Breath. Caitlyn will actually pick up the kill on him because the Bellows Breath did not save him long enough. 4 members alive from the side of Catalyst Wraith Catalyst Wraith. They don't have their jungle available, but they are sitting in a stronger position to really jockey here. 3 members alive for DZG. They have the Caitlyn available. They still have Mobster Penguin available here. Super Mega Death Rocket will not connect. DZG Heartbreak looking for something, and it does look like they will just start up this Drake. Shady Gecko opts to go in for it. They are seeing DZG Heartbreak just kind of dance around, but he does not have the avenue in. Victor does an insane amount of damage. Mobster Penguin looking for something, does not connect with the stun. Genshu is back. Will DZG get it? The answer is no. Shady Gecko's smite is true, and he will actually fall for his efforts. DZG Heartbreak will. And that's just going to be fizzling out now. 4 members strong. They do have Pagarok coming back up, teleport available. I think they're just going to, they opt for this mid lane tower. So DZG just once again, their battle lines, I just feel, are completely chaotic here, Silent.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they tried to force that fight into the Mordekaiser, especially with Genshu knowing that he doesn't have the QSS to get out of death from. I honestly don't think that was worth the pick. If they were going to try to pick it, maybe the Hecarim with Jinx or Xerath trying to poke down from far away, but I don't think Genshu should have even participated in that, other than maybe Eing to one of the backline pokes.
Right, and we are now just seeing some big items come in that could have been extremely beneficial for the last fight. Xerath completed his Rabadons, Jinx now has her Ornn item, and also the QSS, but now we're seeing it again as we see the play onto the Mordekaiser. He does opt once again, ult Genshu on this Rakan. Now Shady Gecko going in to sow some disruption, will ult on the Mobster Penguin, immediately breaks the Catalyst, Genshu running for his life, and Catasoul will be going unstoppable as Genshu will fall to this Victor. Ornn sitting in the front line, a lot of damage coming out from this Chaos Storm. Octofu sitting awkwardly in the front line again, just getting ticked away. 5 members still alive on Catalyst Wraith as DZG just do not have the damage options to turn around and win this fight without their engage tools here. And, this Mordekaiser just says, oh, cool, everybody wants to go onto me. He does the Mordekaiser thing, picks a target, takes him away, and DZG just sitting awkwardly as the rest of Catalyst Wraith react to it. So, this game, we thought that it was going to be extremely favored DZG in the late game, but, Catalyst Wraith is just playing so comfortably in these team fights. And the battle lines, once again, from DZG are just not well executed. You cannot dogpile a Mordekaiser unless every single member of your team has QSS. You have them on the ones that matter, you have them on the Hecarim, you have them on the Jinx, but why is your Rakan running at him face first?
I honestly don't know, but I'm also curious if this Mordekaiser has a Rammus taunt on him. Why is DZG so infatuated with this Mordekaiser? Why not pick the Caitlyn that can't move? CC the crap out of her, CC the Victor. Don't bother with this Mordekaiser.
Well, their side of Catalyst Wraith is now opting to put him in the bot side here to really split out and hopefully offer them for the side of Catalyst Wraith some pressure onto this Herald, or I'm sorry, this Nash. So, and you need to send 2 to 3 people to deal with him. I don't think anybody on the side of DCG is able to solo him. And if you do send that kind of pressure there, you're going to have a bad time. Maybe Tofu can live long enough. He's not incredibly behind at all. From this Mordekaiser, maybe he can live long enough to hold the tower, but DZG need to make up their mind with what they want to do. As this Catalyst Race start up this Drake, the alteration, far side alteration does come down. DZG sees it. You see the pings coming in. Tofu has ult available. I'm sorry, teleport available. And we do see it channeled here as both teleports are coming out. Mordekaiser going in a little bit behind the lines. Tofu is sitting here by himself. Will he get any assistance as he kills Caitlyn, but does miss the Ornhorn, so looking a little confused. Genshu going in now, gets 2-man knockup with the 3-man taunt. DZG, this might be the fight that they need. On the charge coming in from Hecarim, who will take down Shady Gecko. Nautilus will fall to the Jinx. The damage will now come in onto Victor, who is shut down as well. DZG picking up 4 kills. Mordekaiser forced to run, as now they will barrel down this mid lane. I think they'll pick up a tower or 2 here, and then shift their sights onto the Snash, but DZG, that is exactly what you needed to do. I was a little scared there for Tofu going into 4 members without much backup there, but he was able to get the kill on the Caitlyn by himself, so Tofu coming up huge on that play. Bounties coming in for the side of DZG, which I still don't understand the system because it's not like they were ever really that far behind in gold, but you have to think that this Nash will fall to them too, pretty much uncontested, as seeing some pings come out here, but I don't know if Mordekaiser's going to have what he needs to stop this play from happening.
No, I think DZG played that perfectly. Mord was not even in the picture, and they focused all the right targets. Caitlyn went down, then the rest of the team went down for Catalyst.
Yeah, it was fantastically played, and now DCG has their second Ornn item coming in, the K-Sor coming in for Xerath, or Mobster Penguin Xerath, and now we're seeing the pings for the objective that really will, I think, break the Campbell's back here. This Elder Dragon is going to be monumental for either team that gets it, and it could slow down the game for DZG if they play it right, or maybe accelerates their tempo because they're absolute madmen. But no, this we definitely should be seeing some fighting here in another minute. Silent.
Yeah, and it looks like with Zerath's next item, it's actually great that Catalyst got Mountain Soul because it looks like he's going to go for that Shadow Flame, and everyone's got shields now.
Yep. So things going to be working out from them as they're opting to say, hey, we need to go pick up some quick items. 2 members of DZG, actually only one of them, DZG Heartbreak, finishing that recall. The rest of them hanging out, chilling. But, right now, we have Catalyst Wraith, full control over this pit right now. Teleports are not available for Tofu, so he's not able to do what he did last time. Really want to see how DZG gets in and tries to contest this objective, because historically around this Drake pit, it's always come up on the side of Catalyst, as DZG Heartbreak and Pagarok here are going to exchange some blows. I think they're in the Death Realm. He opts to not use the QSS. Maybe wants to save it for later. Caitlyn ult comes out. DZG now into the pit. They have vision control down here. Now they're going to have to wait for DZG Heartbreak to really jockey back into position. Unfortunately, if you're a DZG fan, the scuttle is in Catalyst's favor, and they're opting to just instantly start this objective up. I don't know if that's going to be a smart move, but we'll see how it pans out. The Death Realm is not available to Pagarok, who's going to be sitting here on the front line. He is now a juicy option to target. Xerath ult goes out. Now we're just seeing the poke back and forth, and I wonder who's going to pull the trigger. I think it's typically going to be DZG. They have Ornhorn available. They have the Unstoppable Onslaught from Hecarim available, as I think things are just fizzling out here. Hecarim going to go grabbing the bot wave, and was that Smite? I think that was Shady Gecko's first charge of Smite coming out. So, Hecarim sitting on the front line, taking a lot of damage. Mobster Penguin forcing out of the Cataclysm, jumps out. Tofu just sitting here, looks for the Ornhorn, does connect onto 2 members. DZG Real is sitting in a bad position, will fall to the Victor. Shady Gecko is sitting very low, but he's healthy enough. Catasol just doing an absolute load of work here. DZG Heartbreak does turn around and get the kill on him. Goes on a killing spree. Mobster Penguin takes down Pagarok, is now Tofu goes over, gets the kill on Shady Gecko. Now the focus will be Caitlyn, who goes gold, and you cannot imagine that ends well. Caitlyn falls. 3 members still alive on the side of DZG. Only lost their bot lane. Now focus going on over here under this Herald, I'm sorry, Elder Dragon. as the the objective will fall for DZG. DZG with an ace, only losing their bot lane.
That was a great fight by DZG. I was a little bit worried at some point just because the backline of Catalyst survived for so long while Mord was sitting in our DZG backline. But I think it's a great thing that they're going to have this Elder, and we'll see if they try to pick a fight since everyone will have Elder.
See, DZG always has a tendency to subvert my expectations. They do things that I would not expect them to do and play around things that I would not expect them to play around. The prime example here is you've got the Caitlyn, it's late game, and instead of playing around the Caitlyn, they're just saying we'll play around everybody else. You know, Xerath actually pumping out massive damage in that fight, DZG Heartbreak the one getting the crucial kills, and Tofu just going around assassinating people with, you know, the tank assassin that Ornn is. So, when you expect somebody to play around something, DZG is going to play around something else, and it's always interesting to watch this team take to the Rift. But now we're seeing, you know, DZG sitting on this Elder Dragon. I think only 3 members of them have it available, so they definitely can look for a fight here. But, you know, they've got 2 minutes away from the Nash, and now it's time to really crack into the choke points here on the side of Catalyst Race. So this is where the game can get sloppy for sure.
They all have Elder. I'm really surprised they're not trying to start a fight.
Yeah, especially since it's this DZG roster who just always want to look for the absolute bloodbath, especially coming out of the jungle here with DZG Heartbreak. So
I am cringing at the Xerath splitting though.
well, it might be ending very bad for him as the Death Realm will connect out. Mobster Penguin opts to use the ultimate right in his face. He will tick down, and Mordekaiser will take down Xerath as your cringe turned into reality as Mobster Penguin did not look too happy there. Genshu going out does connect onto just the Nautilus here. Damage ticking out here. They do have the Elder available. Genshu is now not looking happy as that Chaos Storm coming in a big choke. Lots of healing came out from DZG Heartbreak, who steps in a trap, but it did not break the camel's back. Helper was the only one that fall from the side of Catalyst Wraith, and DZG lost both Genshu and Mobster Penguin. Granted, not all in the same fight there, but the team with Elder not picking up all the kills definitely feels bad for DZG, but feels great for Catalyst Wraith, as we do see this Nash available on the table here in 30 seconds. Silent.
Yeah, I definitely I understand the great synergy between DZG Olympus's teammates, but they really need to understand that sometimes you just need to sacrifice your teammate. There was no way that Xerath was living through that team fight. Jarvan was going to appear there second. They should have just taken that Elder and shoved it mid while resources from Catalyst were all the way topside.
Right, and the same thing goes for Catalyst, right? There was no world, unless Xerath plays like an absolute madman, where he lives out of that Death Realm. So why are you sending the Jarvan up? Why are you sending the Nautilus up? Why are you sending everybody else up? So that would a great chance for TCG to really take advantage of the misstep coming out of Catalyst, but they opted for the revenge story, and well, you know, Pagarok wasn't the one that killed him. Helper died for the sins of his top laner. So now we're just seeing the jockey come out from for this Elder. Words are hard. Coming out for this Nash objective, it will be once again Catalyst setting with the Scuttle, and DZG kind of just chilling. They now have the Ornn in the side lane instead of the Xerath, so I hope you're happy to see that. As pretty heavy bot lane minion pressure down there as well, helping them out. So you have to imagine somebody's going to want to answer here. But DZG also need to be very respectful with these choke points. That Victor Chaos Storm is doing an absolute metric fuck ton of damage, and I'm going to look at these damage charts, and I would not be surprised to see just Victor sitting 57, 60k at the end of this game, maybe even more if it keeps going longer. So Catasoul is just doing a lot of work on this champion, for sure.
Yeah, and I think we're noticing that only the support has not has it. Oh, support just got his item upgraded. So now everyone on DZG Olympus has their item upgraded. Also questioning Scoops' positioning yet again.
And he's the only one that doesn't have a a Quicksilver Sash. Now, Catasol does go gold here. A lot of damage coming out onto Caitlyn. Monster Penguin will connect with the final charge of the ult. Catasol has to imagine he's in danger now as DZG, Heartbreak, and Genshu sitting in. Real somehow got into the Raptor Pit. Double kill here. Running away from Pagarok will not be enough, as I think that was the Ignite that ticked him down and did kill Reels. Xerath, still looking healthy-ish up here. And Octofu running down Shady Gecko. So DZG, what are you going to look here for now as they turn their focus onto Pagarok? A lot of damage coming out. Pagarok looking to get the kill on the Monster Penguin. One more kill will do it as he does go gold. That Q, if it does connect, will do a lot of damage. Will kill another member. Now Shady Gecko looking around here. Maybe we'll throw a little bit of interference in. DZG Heartbreak now unstoppable. Shady Gecko, have to imagine that he falls next. DZG... Oh, so close. Monster Penguin does not fall as he lives with just a sliver of health. They turn their focuses onto the Nash here, and you have to think that that's going to fall to them before any members of Catalyst are able to contest. Now, only 2 members of DZG hitting this. It's going to be the Hecarim, going to be the Ornn, as Monster Penguin will teleport back into this play to offer some damage. But Elder coming up here in 36 seconds. Shady Gecko will be alive for that. It will probably be another fight around that objective for sure, as they opt to break off of the Nash entirely, instead choosing to go jockey for the Elder position. So interesting choice here. They won that fight pretty heavily, but nothing really came out of it. So DZG, I feel like they should have just finished that objective up. I don't think they would have lost too much there. And then immediately, if they win a fight here, they would have been able to end it. But with death timers being as they are now, they might just be able to end it regardless. I think that just was a little bit of a misplay. But they instantly turn their focus onto the Elder. This DZG squad loves to fight here, and this objective is ticking. Tofu is going to be focused here, but the smite is not available, as, yes, this will be a DZG Elder. Helper, burning, ticking, boom, falls to DZG Reels. That Elder buff coming in huge. Now it's a 4v5, as now I'm a Jinsel will be focused. Caitlyn went in an awkward direction there, getting focused up, putting the damage out on Genshu, but will not be enough, as DZG Heartbreak is dominating, sitting at 9 and 3 on this Hecarim. Caitlyn falls. DZG now focusing on the mid lane. Silent, I think that even despite not going for the Nash, they should take this game here on this push. They win the fight if anything breaks out. They are strong. They're sitting on Elder. 5 members to 3, as they will just take the inhib, and I wonder what their decision here is after that. Ping's going out here for the top side, and I think that's probably the right call. Victor still has a lot of damage here, but man, that's a lot to look at. Anything really stand out here for you, Silent?
Nothing's really standing out for me. I think Victor's pathing on getting away from that fight after he put his initial bubble right in the entrance to Dragon was to split off. I think that actually put the rest of his team in jeopardy.
Well, Tofu is now going to be taken to Death Realm. I think he should be able to live out here, as this will tick away. Maybe not. He's got a huge shield coming in. Gravity Field will catch him up. Tofu, I think, will fall. We're seeing a fight break up here into the top side as Shady Gecko, and it looked like, yes, Mobster Penguin are in the top side with everybody else. Pagarok there, Catasol coming up, Helper coming up. DZG took the Herald, or I'm sorry, the Nash, but they lost Tofu and Mobster Penguin for it. Like, what this... It's like somebody put a whole bunch of scatter shot into a shotgun and just lighting it everywhere, because it's an absolute shit show and I have no idea what's going on.
I'm honestly curious what was the point of that, but at the same time, DZG is still capable of winning this. They definitely have the lead, and hopefully they manage to close this out soon instead of seeing everyone at level 18 full items, and we just watch this death timers go up toward a full minute.
Yeah. So all I wanted to do was make a simple geometry joke because Jinx missed the blast cone into the Nash pit. That's all I wanted to do. Next thing I know, Tofu's fighting Mordekaiser and Victor. For some reason, Genshu and Mobster are 2v3ing, 2v2ing up in the top lane. Like, I don't even know what's going on. So it's an absolute shit show. TZG, hopefully they're just having fun with game 1. Maybe they're just trying to make it go as long as possible to burn my throat out. But either way, I definitely agree. It's super late game. The Caitlyn's online. Even the Xerath, who looks a little uncomfortable with the pick. No flame mobster, but looks a little uncomfortable with the pick. Their scaling options are available, and I think they can opt into most things comfortably and not really care. but they still have to be a little respectful of the victor, and I think as long as they do that, they don't completely miss position, it should be fine, especially since they're sitting on 3 QSSs for the side of DZG as well. Sitting in a little bit of a death rush, but I think Catalyst knows that their jungle isn't up or even theirs, as we see another Xerath ult come out, and I think it's going to be aimed at Catasol, and it's just not really doing much to Catasol, as that ability is down. Top lane will be the focus here from the side of DZG, and they should just be able to protect this cannon for a minute and take this tower. Also, Tusi, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. We do appreciate it. So, yeah, damage coming out here. The wave being cleared up. Octofu farming in the or pushing it into the bot lane here. So 4-1, I think, is the way that they should play this. Minions not really in great position to pressure in the mid lane here, but Tofu should get some damage out on this bot lane tower. They're sending Pagarok down to intercept. But that tower should fall. One more cannon will do it as DZG Heartbreak hits the speed, goes in, gets rooted up, and thankfully does not get hit by that trap. But Shady Gecko will fall as DZG Heartbreak goes godlike. Lots of damage coming out. Victor Chaos Storm does an absolute metric shit ton of damage as it will take down Genshu. DZG Heartbreak somehow surviving as Pagarok go onto the Tofu here in the Death Realm. When he pops out, you have to imagine that he'll be able to target. Flashes forward, goes for the Q. DZG Heartbreak goes back in. Damage coming out will be enough as once again Xerath is able to ultimate. Pagarok living with just a sliver of his health, got his W up in time. Helper 08 will fall to DZG Reels. Damage now has to imagine will go out onto Pagarok. Hits W will fall. DZG Reels will take down Pagarok, but will also at the same time fall. Catasol ticking. Looks like the damage will not be able to connect, and is he going to be able to get it? He does. DZG get the ace, and you have to imagine that they will get this victory here as they go with a 46-minute game 1. Towers will fall. Mobster Penguin, okay, he does go gold. Minions not helping him out here. What is going on? Okay, Shady Gecko is back up, does get the kill. Tofu, I swear to God, this game is not yet over. Oh, so I think we might get a 50-minute game here as the Caitlyn ultimate does come out. Will it be enough? It will not be. But Shady Gecko running down Octofu. Holy hell. Silent, I think we're going to have to fight over this Elder Dragon.
I'm hoping they ignore the Elder Dragon simply because they're not in the position to want to contest for it. Especially not after they lost the Ornn.
Yeah, Ornn is down. I mean, it's not even a triple inhib, so we don't even have that going for us. Mid lane inhib did respawn, offering Catalyst a little bit of respite. I think this game is on a timer. It's just how long do they want it to go?
Yeah, I think the next team fight, whoever team to get ace is really going to win that game. I am interested in seeing how this turns out. I'm so glad that DZG was able to give us such a good game 1. I'm hoping the next 2 games
I don't want to use the word good. I don't think we can, in good honesty, use the word good here. As I feel like DZG still have the upper hand. Their scaling is so insane right now that they should be able to win unless Victor just goes absolute god mode. I feel like it's on a timer. I feel like DZG should have this. It's just how long do they want me to keep talking? As this Elder is being started up, being focused down. Now, teleport coming out here from Pagarok. Octofu does not have his available. He does come up in 5 seconds, but he's going to have to run his little goat legs as fast as he can, as Pagarok is going to be sitting here on the front line. Will actually ult. Yeah, he does ult DZG Heartbreak. Now, damage coming out on the Genshu. If he does fall... Yeah, takes a little bit more. Oh, the Nautilus ultimate connecting with him gave them the little last bit of damage they needed for the Elder buff to tick. Now Helper setting a little bit of an awkward position as I don't think he meant to take that, but DCG Reels will be falling as he does fall to the Jarvan here. DCG Heartbreak looking to go in for the Nexus, but does not have the damage that he needs. Didn't get the inhib. So that will be 2 for 2. I'm sorry, 2 for 3 in favor of DCG, but they did lose the Herald here. DCG Heartbreak needs to run away from Catasol. One more just auto attack from Catasol would kill him, but it looks like this game will just keep going, unfortunately. I'm all for good League of Legends, but unfortunately, boys and girls, this has not been good League of Legends. This has just been an absolute shit show. Just, like I said, a shotgun blast, for sure. So, yeah, I guess now we just wait for the Elders to fall off, and DZG look to refocus the base. Maybe they do something cheeky. They have 2 teleports available. I don't know, Silent. Like, Want to talk about subverting expectations? This is looking like the Last Jedi Disney movie right now. Like my expectations have been subverted to the point of pure disappointment.
Yeah, when I said good game, I honestly meant good for the audience. They get to see this game swing one way and swing the other. Honestly, it looks like both teams can win, but like the chat is saying, it does look like a game that both teams are trying to lose.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good news is hey, you don't have to worry about COVID stopping you to go to the circus. We brought you one right to your living rooms or your computer rooms or wherever the hell you're watching this from. But the circus is here and it is alive as we are looking at an absolute fucking clown fiesta. Once again, Zerath popping out the ultimate. Does connect once, just once with the Caitlyn. Good bit of damage going out there as DZG break away from the Nash. Not looking to take that right now. And we are seeing yet another objective dances. DZG Heartbreak looking in the wings. Might be able to find something here cheeky. Mobster Penguin clearing out vision. Does get hit with a Caitlyn ult. But other than that, nothing too crazy happened. DZG Heartbreak running into the base while Shady Gecko does go up with the front line. Caitlyn getting a lot of damage out here. Ornhorn goes in. Will it connect with the members? Yes, that is going to be huge. But it will not be enough for Caitlyn to position correctly to get on. It looks like Pagarok will be able to force out the W here. DZG Heartbreak running into the base. DZG Reels will fall. Tofu still surviving here, as it actually looks like DCG Heartbreak not sure what he wants to do. He's not going for the Nexus here. He did opt for the inhib, now going back for the Nexus. Tofu just an absolute monster here on this Ornn, but will eventually fall. Now, DCG Heartbreak goes for the Nexus, will take it down. Shady Gecko not enough to stop him. Holy hell, ladies and gentlemen, we brought you a 51-minute game. DCG taking game 1 from Catalyst Wraith. Well, that was a DZG banger brought to you by DZG Olympus. 51 minutes. They end up going for the back door after what? I think we had 3 Heralds fall, 3 Nashes fall. My throat is dead. And holy absolute hell, I can't wait to see these damage charts as... wow, Victor actually did a lot less damage than I was expecting. Only 44,000 on this Victor Silent.
While he wasn't really in the middle of the team fights, it looked like he just put his bubble and he was like standing as far away from the team fight as possible. So I think he was playing scared, and honestly, with the way that Hecarim was running at them, I can't really blame him. We did notice that Mobster Penguin was not able to control his machine gun ults, and that also resulted in him missing a lot of his ults.
I think...
And
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
and we also saw a lot of Jinx rockets hit a lot of full health champions. So hopefully
Or just not hit
we'll
at all.
hopefully we'll see some better skill shots in the second game. Although I would not ban Zerath in the second game, judging by what I saw.
For sure, it did look a little it did look a little bit of a boo boo pick there. I mean, he did damage. He did damage. And he did have a few great moments on that Zerath, but I'm just glad we got to see the thing that I memed about. We talked about him playing a frontline control mage, right? And I joked when we talked in the early game, I think level 1, like, I was like, yo, it's going to be real funny. He's just going to be standing in somebody's face and just ult them. And he did that in the top lane when he got picked off, right after you said the split pushing Zerath. Like, he's sitting here looking face to face with the Mordekaiser and ults him. That made my night, at least that did. But, oh well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get set up for game 2, and we'll bring you that shortly as we head into a quick break as everybody gets set up to go into that game 2 of DZG Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith. Stand by. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back a little bit into this draft phase here as Catalyst Wraith is now on the blue side, DZG Olympus on the red side, and they have already locked themselves a Jinx Recon. So running that bot lane back again, Catalyst Wraith went ahead and picked up the Corki, so we are seeing a little bit of adaptations here in the draft. Actually, that's really the only big one right now. We saw the Victor ban instead of the Corki coming out for Catalyst Wraith, and they said, hey, we're much more comfortable taking this. Blind instead of the Victor, I guess. Also prioritizing it first pick. They did have the option to take the Jinx, but I guess opted not to. And they said, you know what? DZG Heartbreak, we're not giving you the Hecarim again. So they're gonna pilot it themselves, give that to Shitty Gecko, and see if he comes up the win on that side. And also taking away Octofu's Ornn here. So really showing a lot, actually. A little bit of a draft boo-boo, in my opinion, Silent. They showed both solo lanes. They showed the jungle when they already knew the DZG bot lane. So what do you feel about that here as DZG maybe opt to go for the Cassiopeia?
I do agree with you that it seems extremely. Oh, are we gonna see the Wraith? No, they're just teasing us. Honestly, I really do question why they enjoy picking their mid and jungle always in the first two picks. And then now they even picked on the top lane. It looks like they're honestly trying to scale. But hopefully we won't have another 51-minute game. Looks like we're seeing a Caitlyn ban, Trundle ban. Are we gonna see another bot lane ban, Jace?
Oh, I apologize. I was muted. So, kind of going back into this conversation. I feel like this is not the optimal path. Like, yeah, these bot lane bans are going to be the obvious choice because that's the only thing left for Catalyst Wraith to pick. They gave up top lane counter. They gave up mid lane counter. And I mean, sure, yeah, you're going to have to sacrifice one of those eventually, being blue side anyway, but I just don't know if the Corki was strong enough to really prioritize on the blue side here, Silent.
I don't think they are. I think, honestly, Mobster Penguin is quite comfortable with facing a Corki, and they left so many of his picks up that we're going to see his Cassiopeia for, I think this has been a while since we've seen it.
Now, I can't speak to the members of Catalyst Wraith and what they're comfortable and strong on, but if I was king for a day and I was their coach, I would opt for the Jinx, right? Because you know that's a super strong pick. Now, I don't know if I'm a Jincell can play it, so maybe that's why they opted not to. Or just go for the first pick Victor. If you have the option for the first pick Victor, you know that the side of Mobster Penguin was going to opt to take something like this Wraith into it, and after the performance game 1, I think that's a comfortable trade. You know, Catasol looked really strong on that Victor pick, and Mobster Penguin didn't look very strong on the Xerath pick. That's something you can run back and really get the most out of your blue side strength and blind safety. But instead, they just run with this cockeyed draft priorities. I mean, yeah, they have scaling potential here, but does an Ezreal really beat out in the scaling war of a Jinx? I'd say no. As Octofu saying, hey, look, I got straight abused by Mundo last week, and he's going to be running that into the side of Catalyst Wraith. So let's hope that he's able to do what Genesis did to him game 1 last week with that Mundo and just be an absolute menace. And DZG Heartbreak saying, hey, Hecarim into Jarvan, Jarvan to Hecarim, let's go ahead and run that around, and he's probably feeling pretty comfortable about that. So, always fun to see the mirror matchup. Always fun to see the mirror matchup here, Silent.
Yeah, and we're watching some role swaps because we're actually seeing Helper now play ADC. We're seeing Jincell play mid now, and Catasol that was mid go to support. So it looks like we're looking at a completely different comp. Wondering if DZG was able to make those adjustments. And Catalyst is opting more for a poke comp, and I'm honestly curious why there's a Hecarim there, because he just does not fit that comp.
Yeah, you've got a Corki, you've got an Ezreal who do not want to go in. But I mean, let's be fair. We saw the same thing kind of out of DZG last time. They had the Ornn, they had the Hecarim, and then they had a Xerath and a Jinx. So maybe they're using it more of a disengage tool, ideally to save their Ezreal, save their Corki. But yeah, definitely seeing aggressive packages is probably not something I expect to see. But you know, it's after last game, any expectations that I had for the world are completely thrown out of the window. So we will see what happens.
I'm honestly curious how DZG is going to handle it. Are they going to try to poke, or are they going to go out for these full-on fights? Because it definitely seems like Catalyst will try to do a tactical retreat during each fight, and DZG will just want to chase them down.
And DZG have a lot of the options to be able to chase them down. Cassiopeia, despite not building boots, is very fast. Jarvan has a lot of lockdown potential with Cataclysm. Now, fortunately, if you're a Catalyst fan, you have the Corki or Valkyrie available. You have the Ezreal's Arcane Shift available, so it does give them a lot of options to get out of the Cataclysm. But DZG, you know, Mundo goes where he pleases, pretty fast, has cleavers to slow down, Rakan with a lot of his engage tools coming out as well, so it's... I already didn't like how Catalyst played this draft, if I'm being completely honest, but I also just seeing all the picks coming up, I think DZG have just the more fleshed out comp here. How do you feel about that statement?
I do think that they have a fleshed out comp. I'm still just trying to figure out if Catalyst is just out of order or if they're swapping, because we are seeing this Ezreal mid now.
I hope not, because that means I need to shift things around. Maybe they just said, hey, screw it, and opted into it, because that is something we talked about. I thought I had a little bit more time, because I'm sitting here in the lobby, I didn't see any of the draft links come out, and, you know, Jincell's mid, Helper is AD carry, and Catasol is support, so, maybe it's just a little bit of a ordering snafu, but yeah, that is, It's definitely annoying if that's not the case and they aren't swapping around, but I mean, with Jincell picking up the Ezreal, you have to imagine that you're probably going to see the Karma picked up here from Helper 08, so it just means we're going to have to shuffle some things around, and with us not getting all the information, yep, they just had a little bit of an ordering snafu here, so, but I mean, that should hopefully keep expectations within some sort of realistic realm, that at least, you know, these guys are going to be a bit more comfortable in their roles. I definitely want to keep my eyes on the Mobster Penguin Catasol matchup, as last time it just went a little bit of outside of Mobster Penguin's comfort zone with that Xerath pick, and I want to really see him pop off in this Cassiopeia. But any final thoughts that you have before we head into our spectate delay?
I'm honestly interested in seeing if Catalyst will make any adjustments, or will they try continuously running it at Mobster Penguin, hoping that one of their ganks will work and end up being successful, or will they choose another lane like the bot lane to try to help them get ahead?
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, as much as we did talk about this era, Mobster Penguin did absorb and effectively absorbed a lot of pressure, so let's see how they decide to pan out. But we'll be bringing you here, ladies and gentlemen, into Game 2 of Catalyst Wraith versus DZG Olympus. Game 2, right after this spectate delay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back bringing you game 2 of DZG Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith. Give me 1 second, because I forgot to go ahead and shift the scoreboard names. But, Silent, how you feeling about this game? As we kind of see a little bit of a five-point cheese, or I'm sorry, 5-man cheese coming out here from the side of DZG.
Well, it looks like both sides are trying to do that invade, so honestly, I think we're not going to see any fireworks or any good fights early in this game. Both teams have scaling opportunities. One side is more poke while the other one wants to engage and have that long sustained fight. So we'll see how this pans out as the game progresses. The last game kind of went exactly how we expected it.
Yeah, well, a little longer than we expected it. That's for sure. But looks like they're just gonna get vision on either side. Unfortunately, apparently, according to chat, top lane pooped their pants. So we're gonna have a little bit of a pause here. Hopefully, we do not run into any sort of spectate issues on the pause. If we have any sort of indications of that, we'll go ahead and try to reset the stream. But um, unfortunately, I'm not able to zoom around the map and see what kind of Drake we have starting off this game. So, hopefully.
Top left, you can see the type of dragon we're gonna have.
Oh, it's actually showing this time, so we will have a cloud. So, hey, Silent, you got your wish. We're not getting any sort of cloud souls today. So, hopefully, though, it's not another mountain Drake because mountain Drakes are no fun.
Yeah, I'm honestly hoping to see either Hextech or Chemtech. They're a lot more fun to watch. I never want the Chemtech in my games because usually they're not my favorite when Riot puts me in a game.
Chemtake is just absolutely chaotic. Like, he confuses the ever-loving hell out of me, even when I know exactly what's going on. I killed a Scion one day, and then he turned around and ulted, and I'm like, but wait, that's not Zombie Scion. And then after his ult, he was then Zombie Scion, and my brain was, like, seriously fucked up for probably about 2 minutes after the play, so that's always a good time. It's always a good time. But do you have a favorite Drake right now? Yeah, a favorite soul, rather?
Hextech, honestly. I really enjoy Hextech because it offers the gates in addition to the fact that you get to see the chain lightning.
Yeah, so you kind of get the, it's like everybody has a, static shiv,
Yeah.
pretty much.
As a
So,
former ADC, it definitely is one of my favorite items.
fair enough, fair enough. Uh, see, I don't play enough. Naturally, you know this. So like anytime that the Hextech drags up, I'm like, oh cool, Hextech soul, and then I never click on the portals because I also don't know where they always put me sometimes too. So it's like, I'd really rather not pop up like
So
in the middle of 5 enemies. It'd be a bad time.
yes, so both the portals are always going to the same locations. It's always two from base and the two go into the jungle positions, and then there's one always near the buffs going toward the other side team's buff across the river.
Yeah.
So it's definitely great for teams that really enjoy flanking. If the other team doesn't ward those positions, they will never know that there's someone behind them that isn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, it's kind of like it adds a whole nother level to like um just like angles and everything else. So it's really awesome. It's like you kind of have to like consider like the Zac angles like when you have a whatchamacallit, a Hextech riff, which is pretty cool in my opinion, but could also be somewhat obnoxious, especially if you're like me and don't know everything that you should. Yeah, I can organize people in here. So let's go ahead and do that since Catalyst Wraith is on my boo-boo list for not being in LCS order. Um, but yeah, it's just there's been so many changes with preseason coming in, and me taking like a 3 month hiatus for the game. I come back and I'm like, oh, there's dead people running around, and there's 2 new dragons, and like I think the other dragons are still a thing, but I'm not sure if they still do their things. So that's fun. That's always fun.
They're still not in LCS order. You've moved Karma into
I
mid
did.
lane.
I did. Thanks, man. Thanks. Just try to keep the stream interesting, as apparently the top lane is shitting himself. So, um, and I mean, I would too, going up against Mundo into Ornn. It's not really a fun matchup. Uh, I mean, at least it's not Mordekaiser, as Pagarok has completely just left. Hopefully he comes back. The fact that we're still seeing chat makes me feel comfortable that we don't have the spectate bug, at least. So that's a victory. But Not really seeing anything too crazy coming out here on the side of summoners as well. We do see Genshu once again with the slowdowns coming out of the glacial augment. We see Real sitting with the exhaust, but nothing too unexpected here. Shady Gecko actually opting for the phase rush on the Hecarim here, and I believe DZG Heartbreak played the Conqueror if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I'm honestly hoping that we're going to see um some usage out of that first strike. I honestly don't. I'm not a big fan of it on Ezreal, even though a lot more have been putting it on them. The Corki is definitely understandable, especially into a matchup like the Cassiopeia. But in terms of bot lane, I feel like there's just personally I prefer other runes.
Yeah, I don't really play Corki enough to have a rune preference. The only time I really take first strike is like sometimes and very situationally on Gangplank, but most of the time I'm still probably taking the grasp of the undying on him. So it's like a mixture of what was it? Kleptomancy mixed with like um what was it's kind of like God damn it, I can't think of the red one. It's not electrocute, but the one that did damage on the first hit. Um, but anywho, it's like a mixture of the two. It's like a budget kleptomancy almost. Um,
A summoner has
which I
reconnected.
really miss kleptomancy on like Kale, Gangplank, and stuff like that. I know a lot of people hate klepto, but whatever, they can get over it.
um, Hopefully we'll have this game start soon. I do believe the pause time was what 10 minutes. So
well,
Catalyst has approximately 3.5 minutes left.
Well, Pakarok did reconnect. I'm not seeing any sort of R's in chat. Just my mid, he's a crackhead apparently from Genshu. So, um, and apparently we all should ignore that. So I never said that on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. It never happened. Please ignore it, according to Genshu. But yeah, pause timers always fun, especially when we've been dealing with Riot's client for however many years now, and it's never worked perfectly. So I always have in the back of my head that it's just gonna spontaneously implode because it can't be trusted.
Yeah,
So
like
that's
last
always good
week.
times.
Oh,
Hey, we're back in. Hopefully it doesn't lag back up on us. So,
Minions have
both teams did their
spawned.
little 5-man
A
check in.
summoner has
Oh, come
disconnected.
on. Anywho, so, real quick, Alyssa, if you're in the chat, if you could answer how long the pause timers each team gets, because
10 minutes.
oh, it is 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, they've got 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so hopefully we will not be taking any more of your time other than that.
A summoner
But,
has
we're
joined your
back. Again,
channel.
hopefully. I'm not going to jinx it again. Jinx can do that in the game. So, we're now seeing everybody kind of get back to where they're expected. DZG, I feel like they lost a little bit on that level 1 here, Silent, because um, Catalyst got the ward in the topside jungle, whereas DZG did not get one on theirs. So a little bit of a hiccup here with the time controls. I'm gonna go ahead and just and let it play out from there. Hopefully that fixes everything. Maybe not. There we go. Cool. Money. So yeah, hopefully things will start to flow from here. But DZG not getting a ward on that red side, bot side jungle, um, into Catalyst, I feel like is a little bit of a missed opportunity. But I don't really think it's gonna really skewer things that much, as we are seeing inverted starts here from both Heartbreak and Shady Gecko. So gonna kind of be just some business as usual.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be in here for the long haul. Hopefully not 51 minutes long haul, but I think we'll be here for a bit simply because both teams have more of a scaling than an early kind of lane bully kind of selection. Top again is a wet noodle fight, mid lane is both scaling, and bot lane is both scaling. So I'm not quite sure how much action we're going to see in these early game minutes.
All right, so let's theoretically say that the game does go to an hour and 30 minutes. I I I, I pray that it doesn't. But who do you think has the scaling advantage here?
as long as DZG can get the engage onto the backline of Catalyst, they will win this game. But if the Catalyst is able to maintain distance and continue poking, I honestly think it's in favor of them, especially since they'll have the Ornn items to benefit from.
Yeah, and that's where my brain was with the ornaments coming through and really offering that edge. But I mean, I feel like the ease of execution is going to be a little bit more on the side of DZG. They just want to hit the go button, whereas the side of Catalyst really just want to poke it. Genshu looking in aggressively, and Ezreal really having a great arcane shift to get out. They keep doing that. That is going to be fantastic from the side of Catalyst. So yeah, DZG not winning the health bar battle here, but it's going to be really hard to get onto this slippery Ezreal. That is for damn sure. Nothing really happening here. I'm hoping to see a Jarvan gank coming in soon. Shady Gecko just looking here for this bot lane scuttle, and Heartbreak going for the top lane scuttle. So everything just kind of business as usual. Nothing too crazy going on, but CS definitely going in favor of the side of Catalyst, as Hecarim just looking in to see what he can steal away, but there is nothing available down on that bot side. Some pings coming in. Maybe he's going to look for this Cassiopeia, but she's not really in a gankable position here. Tofu looking up here on a Pagarok, who uses the charge forward. Will be forced to flash as the flag and drag does not connect because of that flash. But DZG Heartbreak coming in with the first successful gank of the game. And if you're a DZG fan, you love to see it. A little bit of a slow tempo here. But, hey, that is definitely one way to get things accelerated. As the CS lead in the top lane definitely going in Tofu's favor, kind of just like last game. Hopefully he makes the right decisions utilizing his teleport correctly. Maybe because of the pauses, maybe because of the teleport, we're actually not able to see any of those summoner timers here, Silent.
It's been due to the pauses into the game, so it's the spectator bug. Whenever games do have that pause, we always lose track of their summoners.
Fun. It's hey, if that's the only issue that we're gonna have with the client, I can deal with it and just try to keep my brain on it. But Shady Gecko coming up here on the Tofu, who does not, or he did have the passive available. Sorry, I didn't see him glowing. Lucis's passive is just able to walk out of it. Mundo goes where he pleases. So, wasting a little bit of Shady Gecko's time. Not too much coming out of it, as Tofu will just be able to heal back up, farm under towers. So, DZG, I feel like getting a little bit of a just tempo advantage in this early game, but losing out on the CS side for sure because a huge CS deficit. Now, Mobster Penguin forced to flash a Shady, going in for an immediate gank following that top lane up into the mid lane. Mobster sitting here once again early game with no teleport available is going to be forced to, no flash available. It's going to be forced to recall here. Real's taking a lot of damage between the Karma and the Ezreal poke, and yeah, DZG just sitting at a 300 gold deficit, and it's all coming just from a CS deficit, both in the jungle and the top lane. And it's not, or I'm sorry, jungle and the bot lane, and it's not being offset by that CS difference in the top lane. Oh, cool. First time chat from the viewer asking if we want to become famous. How nice. As Genshu goes back in, gets a little poke on helper, but nothing coming out from here. So, fun times all around, Silent. As DZG Heartbreak goes in, immediate arcane shift out of Imogen. So, Root coming out from Karma. Shady Gecko is now in here into position. DZG Heartbreak forced to flash over that wall as he no longer has the Flag and Dragon available. DZG, that was not the gank that you wanted to see. Ezreal being super slippery on this AD carry and really denying DZG Heartbreak's kill the AD carry playstyle that he had from last game. So, wasn't really safe with the 90 caliber net from the Caitlyn, feeling a lot better with this arcane shift.
Yeah, we're also not seeing that early Drake coming from G, where last game the Hecarim got them prio, and then eventually they started the Drake, but this game it looks like we're going to be here for the long haul.
Well, we are seeing the side of Catalyst opt to do the same thing that DZG said. They said, hey, our bot lane's feeling super comfortable, sitting at about a 20 CS lead. We're just going to start this Drake up. And yeah, cool, it's not that big. It's a Cloud Drake. But I mean, Cloud Drake gives Hecarim a lot more mileage than it does anybody else, just because he loves to go fast. So this Drake will fall. Second Drake will be Mountain Drake. So we do not get our Mountain Soul Silent. We're going to get something brand new this game. Could be one of the new Drakes. Could be Infernal. Could be an Ocean, so we will see what happens with that, and hopefully we'll find out in the next 6 minutes or so, whenever the second Drake falls. But things just kind of chilling, and Catalyst is sitting pretty happy, as we do have another pause come in, it was like a quick pause as we did see Reels disconnect and reconnect again. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix that timer here, as that quick pause did scramble things a little bit. So, all right, let's see if now we can just speed up the game, get where we want to be. Happy, happy, happy. All right, good to go. So, back into the game. It looks like DZG Reels had a little bit of a DC and is back into things. So, yeah, nothing too crazy. Just kind of like we said, farming it out. Everybody's just chilling, doing their thing. Bot lane's short up that CS gap just a little bit, but top lane, man, it's 20 CS difference here. 20 CS difference in the side of DZG. So, Mundo definitely going where he pleases, and he's going right into those waves and taking up that CS. So, it's good times, Silent. Good times.
I think it was ironic that literally the last game, the positioning of the blue side taking the dragon, literally the other side, jungler being at Raptors, was exactly the same thing of what happened during this game.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of the mirror than I expected, honestly. I think package is going to be available here in about 2 minutes. Herald is now on the table, so I would love to see some action around these objectives, because right now, I'm just sitting here with the game in my hands, just going, I don't know what to talk about, because we're just kind of chilling here. But no, we're seeing a little bit of the posturing here on the top side of the map. Hopefully something will fan out with this this Herald and break the game open a little bit, because both sides just seem to be content with the state of the game. Mid lane's dead even. There's a CS gap in the bot lane, but an equal CS gap in the top lane. And the jungle difference is really being the one that I think is setting the CS or the gold advantage here for the side of Catalyst, but it's pennies in the long haul. So Tofu and Pagrock just having their wet noodle fight, and looks like DZG Heartbreak's opting to go for the Herald uncontested because Hecarim's in the bot lane. DZG Real is taking a lot of damage here, as Ezreal looks for the ultimate, but does not connect with it. So, maybe we'll just see both AD carry ults just completely miss this game. That would be super exciting, fun League of Legends gameplay, as Real's looking it back, but will not have that opportunity. DCG Heartbreak did secure the Herald up there on the top side. Hopefully they use it to some sort of advantage here, as Corky's package should be coming up, 4 seconds? As Ginshu is looking for something here, Mobster Penguin roam down. I joked about the ults missing, but it did look like that is the case, as Mobster Penguin still looking here for the Karma. Will hit the pool, will it be enough? And the damage coming out, ultimate coming out. Helper taking a lot of damage here, but now Shady Gecko is down. Does get the first blood onto, onto the onto 80 carry, yeah. And it will be 3 members dead from the side of DZG, and only Helper falling, as that roam just did not do what it needed to do, as DZG lost way more than they wanted to in that trade there, so.
Yeah, the fight went completely in favor of Catalyst, and that roam did not really help since Corky was able to continuously farm, and Jarvan was, since he was so low on health, he was unable to really contest the mid lane CS.
We went from, the game being within 100 gold of each other. Now we're sitting at a 3k difference here. That was absolutely huge. Ornhorn pulled. Will it be enough? As Pagrock says, well, maybe I don't have the damage here. Octofu looking for it. Will not follow on. Does not want to go under that tower. Helper now being ulted. Cataclysm coming out from Jarvan onto this Karma. Damage coming out. And it should be enough, as Mobster Penguin does get into position here. Should theoretically pick up the kill. Slows are insane, but will it be enough? Flag, you imagine, will come out soon. DCG Heartbreak goes for it. Trying to give this kill over as Mobster Penguin flashes for it. Does get the kill. So they really wanted to put that gold into this mid laner here. They really wanted to get Mobster Penguin into a comfortable position. I don't know if it was worth the flash or just giving it over to DCG Heartbreak there, but choices were made, and Cassiopeia getting some of that gold to make up for that CS that she lost roaming down to bot lane. But still a 2k lead sitting here for Catalyst, as that bot lane play just really threw things into a bad position for them. TCG Heartbreak opting to use the Herald in the mid lane, forced to flash out now here, as he did not have Flag and Drag available. They do get the gold, but I think all of that went on to DZG Heartbreak, so not what they wanted to get there. I know they're trying to put gold into this Cassiopeia, but it just did not work out in their favor. A lot of damage coming out to Heartbreak. He's forced to flag and drag over the wall. Tofu just kind of having that wet noodle fight here in the top lane as Catalyst will shift their sights over here onto this dragon. And we will find out what solo we're going to get here as Tofu's looking very low up in the top lane. It's going to be your favorite, Silent. You do get your Hextech Rift as Monster Penguin gets the package used onto him. Will get burned down as Corky Catasol just coming up huge in that solo kill onto Monster Penguin. DZG just need to get it together here in this early game, Silent.
Yeah, the poke from Catalyst is honestly swinging the fights extremely one way, and there's nothing that DZG can do about it since they don't really have mobile champs. Um, Cassiopeia requires her to land her abilities in order to get some extra mobility. Jinx is really not that mobile, so right now Catalyst is taking advantage of it and just free poking, and there's nothing that DZG can do about it at the moment.
I think I really cursed the situation in the bot lane. I made the joke about both AD carries missing their ultimates, and then what's that ultimate miss from Jinx? As we are going to have some action here. It's Tofu looking onto Pagarok. Pagarok will now pull the Ornhorn in, and will it connect? Tofu goes ahead and uses the flash out. He's still walking away, but will it be enough? He's regenning, but it will not be enough. Shady Gecko connects with the fear. Tofu running away for his life, but you have to imagine that he falls here, and Shady Gecko will get the kill onto Octofu as Dr. Mundo does not get to go everywhere that he pleases. Falls in the top lane in that 2v1 situation. Monster Penguin looking here a little low is gonna pick up that Warden, but that's gonna be all she wrote for that. That is an awkward control ward. I don't know if he's able to defend it even with his ultimate there, and yeah, that's free gold going into Catasol's pocket, so a little bit of a suboptimal control ward. Objective bounties coming available soon. But going into that previous discussion, that I joked about the 80 carry ult missing, and then Jinx fired her Super Mega Death Rocket. It didn't connect, didn't get the kill onto Helper, and then Helper was just able to gain so much space with that, even that Cassiopeia room coming down, and really gave time for Shady Gecko to come down, turn the tide of that fight, and DZG just felt that they had to force into the index there. But, DZG Heartbreak sitting in the wings here, maybe looking for flag and drag, but Reels' health bar is gone, Silent. I don't even think they want to take that 2v3.
No, they definitely don't, especially the fact that they should know that Hecarim has rotated down toward his bot half of his jungle since he did gank top earlier, so I think that was the reaction from DZG Heartbreak, but as they're continuously taking these poke, I think they have to engage.
Ganshu looking for it. They will get a lot of damage here onto Jincel, who does Arcane Shift and then Flash away, mixing the words there. So overall, I think this is really good for DCG. Buy themselves a lot more pressure for this Jinx to scale up because sitting at a 44 CS deficit in the 80 carry role feels extremely bad. Maybe they're going to look here for this objective bounty because it is available. They have 3 members down here. Shady Gecko coming down to defend, and I think this might spell some trouble as he's actually forced to ultimate out. Does get out, uses the Angry Bee emote, and yeah, so I think he's able to really stop the DCG aggression on that tower, but at the cost of his ultimate. I think that's a good trade if you're a Catalyst fan.
Yeah, I've noticed this from the last game. I'm starting to wonder how comfortable is Reels on Jinx because I'm noticing him use these ult preemptively, and it looks like just to get some damage so that he can get the Excite passive from Jinx, but not to really use it as an execute when he has enough poke, because that fight was extremely close range. He had the opportunity to step up while Ginshu and DZ Heartbreak engaged instead of using his ult from all the way in the back.
Oh, absolutely agree, especially with the long range that the Rockets offers. Now, Ginshu's hovering here because Helper is already here. Heartbreak just cleared red buff, might start to look for it, but Shady Gecko's over here doing the Herald, but I think that has to be a dead. Yes, dead Karma as Helper 08 does fall to Monster Penguin. Cassiopeia setting now 2 kills, has a fully stacked tier, and that was good, but I think that, the objective going down here on the bot side, like, Ezreal is just feeling very comfortable in this 1v1 situation, as well he should. He's sitting on a Sunderer, completed boots, has the Caulfield's Warhammer compared to a Noon Quiver and some boots sitting here from the Jinx. Herald was stopped by by DZG. I think Tofu came down and really interrupted what Shady Gecko was trying to do there, and DZG now going to focus their sights on this objective. Maybe really utilize this to pick up some of those objective bounties sitting on the map, so Tempo swing a little bit here into DZG's favor, but this gold lead is not in their favor at all. And especially if the side of Catalyst here want to keep going for these Drakes. They're sitting on 2 already. Another one will put them in Soul Point, and this is not a Drake that I feel that you want to give over for free here, Silent.
No, you definitely don't want a poke comp team to get onto a point right before Soul, especially on Hextech Soul.
DZG
Honestly,
need to be careful. Corki does have package here. His Heartbreak will opt to use the Heroine in the mid lane, and this will be an uncontested Drake for sure, as Ultimate does connect. Um, Health bar's looking a little low here, but DZG Heartbreak going in and using Catalyst or Cataclysm onto I'm a Jinsel, who must have Arcane shifted forward because he did not Arcane shift out of that. He will fall to DZG Heartbreak, but also on the same side, Shady Gecko will take down DZG Reels, who you know, just maybe a little bit of out of position. I did not see that. But it will be 80 carry for 80 carry, and DZG should feel a little comfortable with this, especially if they're able to get this tower. But Ornhorn still actually is not available anymore. So Tofu just walking up, smacking this tower. DZG just barreling down the mid lane and feeling really comfortable doing it. A huge Corki ultimate will connect with 3 members to DZG. Health bar's looking low. Shady Gecko wanting to go for this, but I do not think they will have the follow-up tools available.
yeah, it's interesting that they chose to really force
no,
that
Mobster.
fight.
Oh, Genshu goes in, will get the shutdown onto Corki, but will be at the cost of his own life. Mobster Penguin now looking definitely dead, as Ornn will take that down. The Super Mega Death Rocket coming in, would have gotten a lot of mileage out of that if it did connect, but did not, unfortunately. Arcane Barrage coming in does not connect with Octofu to take down him. So it was another 1-for-1. Actually, I take that back. It was a 2-for-1 trade, as both Mobster Penguin and Genshu died for Catasol. Gold lead's still sitting at about 3k here, so it is still Catalyst with their foot out in front and definitely feeling in the driving seat for this game still.
Yeah, Ezreal is almost at his. He already has his 2 items. He almost has it fully used to the Mirror Mana, and we're looking at Corki and Ezreal almost fully stacked. And we have another DC from our ADC.
Yay! So that is all the pauses that both teams are able to utilize. So hopefully we will get this resolved quickly. But I mean, game state. Let's take a quick look at this. It seems the Hecarim is just doing a lot more in this game. He's going for the Chemtake build. He's able to get on top of the carries, able to cause a lot of disruption. And you know, the poking coming out from the side of Catalyst has been huge. Ezreal and Corki are able to do a lot of work, and these Corki rockets are just absolutely massive. So
Yeah,
um,
I'm honestly kind of curious to see if Jinx's if there's a lag that's causing him to take a lot more poke than he really should be taking in lane, which is just ultimately affecting his ability to play this game. During that last fight, there was a lot going on. I'm curious to see if they were just trying to salvage what was left, force a fight. They did use 2 Rift Heralds mid lane, so I'm kind of curious to see, was it really worth it in the end, because that turret still stood after 2 Rift Heralds.
yeah, that I was about to say the same thing. It's like both heralds got the charge off, and the tower is still alive. Now, of course, Mundo going where he pleases, just walks up and smacks it. But um, I gotta say, I'm a little scared here for the side of DZG. They're not farming super well on these carries compared to their late opponents, and it's just Reels Jinx has had me a little sus here. But play will resume. Hopefully everything will go smooth into it. And of course it did not go smooth into it. So let's see if I can't break this out with some time controls. And the answer is yes, I can. So let's go ahead and speed up the game. Get back to where we were. So yeah, we just see the mid lane tower fall. Everything going good. See the pause come out. Hopefully we'll be able to get back into this game. There we go. Fantastic. So, everything's as it should be, theoretically, hopefully. And yeah, I'm just a little scared to see DZG piloting some of these champions. Mainly right now, it's Reels and the Jinx. We saw him play kind of frontline last game. Now, granted, their team comp wasn't the most set up for like front-to-back team fights, so to speak. So hopefully things will go a little bit smoother for them. They're able to position properly. But yeah, it's my heartstrings, because I know DZG Olympus always like to drop a freaking game. And since they won game 1, Silent, I think the narrative demands that they drop game 2. So that's where my head is right now. I'm hoping it's not the case, because my throat could really use a break. It really could.
I don't think DZG Olympus will make this easy, but at the same time, they still have a lot of opportunities to make it back, especially since Riot made it so that they would have that objective bounties if the leads go one-sided.
Shady Gecko not liking where he is. He's immediately ulting onto Mobster Penguin, but Helper here comes through the Hextech gate as well. Ginshu will fall. Mobster Penguin will get taken down by another rocket by Catasol, and that is 2 quick kills coming over from the side of Catalyst. I thought Silent Gecko was in a little bit of a sketchy situation here, but they are using this Hextech rift to their advantage, and yeah, that was just well played by Catalyst here as Octofu goes in, smacks the tower a little bit, utilizing his demolish. He is feeling no fear, knowing that the side of Catalyst really want to jockey around for this this Drake. And hey, they're on soul point already, minute 30 coming up on this Drake. If they get this is going to be a very tough game for DCG to win, in my opinion, Silent.
Yeah, and Jinx is still on her first item, so we're not even seeing her run-ins anytime soon. So I honestly think that this Drake will easily go in favor of Catalyst unless someone makes a huge error.
I agree. The scaling tools aren't online from the side of DZG. They aren't in control of this game. A 5k deficit. I feel like if they do fight this Drake, it's pure desperation and pure terror of what this Drake soul would do for them. Well, do against them, I should say. So I think that right now, Catalyst is absolutely in the driving seat and saying, "Hey, we get this. This should accelerate the tempo of the game." For sure, with an Ezreal, Karma, Corki available for the poke tools here. So it's scary if you're a DZG fan. We'll see how things pull down in the next 38 seconds, but it's there's availability here for DZG to get a lot of gold on the map. There is that choice. So maybe they opt to barrel down somewhere else and just take the loss of the Drake, or maybe they opt in for the 5v5. But I don't think the 5v5 goes in their favor at any point here, Silent.
Yeah, we're seeing some influx of gold from the objective bounty from getting the top lane, but I honestly don't
They can't
think
spend
it's
it.
in time. Yeah.
Well, they're sitting 3 members strong here as definitely seeing the dance. Tofu did recall, opting to teleport in now. It looks like some question mark pings going out here on that bush, so I think they know about it. This Drake is burning, and it will fall. Now, Pagarok had a huge fight here. Now, we're seeing Shady Gecko go in, get onto the back line. 2 members of DZG fell already, make that 3, as Mobster Penguin runs for his life, will not be able to survive. Tofu, last man standing. Mundo, you are not going to be tanky enough here, sir, as that is an almost clean ace. Only Catasol fell from the side of Catalyst, and that is exactly what we did not want to see. DZG said, hey, we can't let them have this Drake, but they were not in the position to fight it. The Drake fell before they were even able to get into the right position to contest. The damage coming out for it was huge. Pagarok got a lot of damage off in that fight with the Ornn knockup onto, I think, 3 members, and the Hextech like zap coming out and doing a lot of damage. Like by the time, ooh, it will not be enough. I thought Super Mega Depth Rocket had that there for a second, Silent, but this game just swung heavily in favor of Catalyst. They have Herald. I'm sorry, not Herald. They have the Nash buff. They have the Dragon Soul. And they have an 8k gold lead, Silent. This is going to be a very uphill battle if DZG expect to take the dub here.
Yeah, they were going to get a lead for Catalyst due to the amount of poke that they already had, but I don't think we were expecting quite this large of a lead. This Hecarim has been able to make impactful ganks, unfortunately to the dismay of DZG, both on the bot lane and the top lane when they were overextended. Just that impact of a gank from the Hecarim was able to swing the favor in 2 lanes that really needed a lead since mid lane was being camped on.
I definitely agree. Oh, we're seeing some action here as DCG Heartbreak goes in, looks over the wall to get onto Helper 08, who's forced to flash, but I definitely don't think they will be able to live out as the... Oh, unfortunately, you hate to see it. They were trying to give that over to Mobster Penguin, but Ignite just tick, tick, boom, and it did take down Karma. that did go over to Genshu, though they're still posturing around. DZG just does not own anything in their jungle. Tofu doing what he can on the top side of the map to push in, but I mean, it's really hard for him to clear out these super minions. Now, Ornn's feeling pretty okay trading into these patterns whenever he has that brittle passive available to chunk down a lot of Tofu, but you know, Catalyst just barreling down on this bot lane. They take another tower, and they have the range options, they have the poke options to be able to pump out a lot of damage. Plus that Nash cannon really just offering them a lot of regency and agency to be able to get a lot of damage here. Now DZG Heartbreak takes the rift over, the gateway over, but I think he just did it as a distraction tactic, so hopefully they're able to clear out some of these waves. But this gold still sitting 9k now. Pagarok probably going to get this outer tower here, and just there's nothing going in the favor of DZG right now in this game, Silent.
Agreed. This window definitely does not seem like the pick since he's unable to press his advantage in the lane, and Ornn has just been able to freely farm, but his entire team hasn't really needed him, so he's basically done a job of literally stalling out Octofu's split push. I'm honestly wondering if there would have been a different champ available, such as Tofu's Camille into this
Uh,
Ornn.
I'm not sure if the Camille was bound out, but I definitely agree in the sense that Mundo wasn't really able to do much. Now, I definitely think that's more attributable to his backline just not being able to be available for him. It's hard to be a frontline when your backline's almost non-existent. DZG Heartbreak looking like he's about to get his heart broken as Shady Gecko's trying to run him down. He's able to blast cone out, buy himself a little bit of time. Genshu going in to save his life. Monster Penguin pumping out a lot of damage on a Catasoul, but it will not be enough. Catasoul still had flash available as the health bars are low, but definitely not at the death point. For Catasoul here is actually the only one with a low health bar. DZG, all 5 of their members sitting a little tumultuous there on the health bar as DZG Heartbreak's able to back out, get some health back. Mundo regenning as Mundo does, but nothing really on the map here for Catalyst to take off of that push, so nothing too crazy going on there. But going way back into that conversation here, Silent, I definitely think that if you wanted to look at any specific point where this game just got out of hand, it's definitely that bot lane play. Literally everything just started going on a southward trajectory from that point, from that roam down there where we were sitting neck and neck, everything's fine, and then boom, 3k gold lead just out of nowhere for the side of Catalyst. Now we're seeing the pings coming out here for Elder Dragon. They're DCG pings, but DCG, I don't think they can contest even this objective, and if they do lose it, it's going to be bad news bear for them as Tofu's getting into that wet noodle fight up here with Ornn, who I think is just going to be able to walk it out. Now, we do see teleports are available for both top laners here. So, Pagarok has his, so does Tofu, and Catasoul has his as well. Now, I don't think the package is available. It actually is. So, yeah, they're going to have package available for this fight, too. Silent, I think this is where the game will really be decided. If DZG loses this fight, which unfortunately I'm expecting to happen, then I think that's GG. If DZG is able to stall it out and buy themselves some time here, then that's going to be the relief that they need. But this is almost a 10k gold lead for them to fight through here, Silent. And the buff that you get from Elder, or I'm sorry, the Soul.
I agree, and right now, Catalyst is pushing the advantage of their gold. They're honestly getting priority, and all we're seeing is a death push, which could be detrimental if that Corki decides to Valkyrie through that push.
Or just hits it with a Q. So, looks like we already have the next spectate link going out here, so I imagine that this game will be up pretty soon, but let's go ahead and keep watching this out as they're looking for it. This Drake is burning. Will they be able to get the steal? And Ornn has the heads-up play. 5-man Catalyst comes out, but look at those health bars just disintegrating from DZG. That is 3, 4, 5 dead, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very clean ace. They don't even need this dragon anymore. They should just barrel it down, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Teleports coming out for both the Corki, both the Ornn. That is GG. Game 2 going over to the side of Catalyst Wraith, taking down DZG, and holy hell, those health bars just vanished. Absolutely just got annihilated. So, I talked shit in the draft, Silent. I thought that Catalyst Wraith just had a sloppy draft phase. They gave over both counter picks, but you know, they definitely made me open mouth insert foot, and they came up huge in this game.
Yeah, I honestly think they
I'm sorry, can you say that again? Lost you there for a sec. Ah,
did their picks appropriately and allowed too much of a lead from these pokes. Honestly, if they had played a little bit better with positioning, these pokes might not have landed. Obviously, Karma would have affected with her mantra cues, but at the same time, there was still an opportunity from them to dodge some of the Ezreal's poke.
yeah, absolutely. And we're sitting here looking at the damage here, and it was a very short game. But look, 25,000 damage on this Ezreal compared to the 5,000 that this Jinx was able to do in a 30-minute game. So that speaks volumes to how much this poke was effective. I mean, 25. I'm sorry. Yeah, 20,000 compared to the 12,000. The only place that they wanted damage was with the Mundo. But I mean, there was no kills going over, so what were you really getting out of it? But um, we'll go ahead and hop over to a quick delay, ladies and gentlemen, as we wait for the next draft to get started up. But definitely needing to see some adaptation coming out of here from DZG. So, heading quick break, and we'll bring you Game 3 draft in just a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back bringing you the Game 3 draft of DZG Olympus vs. Catalyst Wraith. DZG taken once again back to the blue side of the Rift, and once again taking away the Jin, taking away the Lux, and we're seeing the Shen go away. So Silent, I know you talked a little bit about it in the break, but you were talking about wanting to see it first pick, so go ahead and share your thoughts on that with everybody.
I was honestly hoping to see a Hecarim first pick just because Neve was so, or DZG Heartbreak was so impactful on it. And in addition, in Game 2, the Catalyst jungler was so impactful on the Hecarim. I think it honestly seems like a pick or ban, or at least to have an ability to counter pick it.
Right, and we haven't really been seeing too much. Oh, they actually opt to take away the Xerath here, so maybe they're wanting to go for the Victor here on the side of Catalyst Wraith. Now, Aiden has a choice to make. Does he go for the Hecarim? Does he go for the Victor or the Jinx? And we saw the Victor being taken here, so does that mean Catalyst Wraith want to go for the Jinx? And I'd warrant no, just due to the fact that we haven't seen it be a priority here for Catalyst Wraith at all. Now, you have to imagine that we're probably going to be seeing the Hecarim picked up from the side of Catalyst Wraith here, as we're going to see their red side picks. But and yep, there it is. So now what does Catalyst want to answer this Victor with? That's going to be a very interesting question. And also, does DZG want to opt for the Jinx for the third time in a row? And actually, it's going to go over to the side of Catalyst Wraith here. So I stand corrected. It looked like two of the power picks that these series has been prioritizing have actually gone to the side of Catalyst Wraith. And, are you content with the trade here, Simon?
I think as long as Victor doesn't get sat on like he has the last 2 games, I think he can make a strong impact, but I'm not sure if I'm willing to trade a Jinx and a Hecarim, although to be fair, a lot of this Jinx ults have been rather poor.
So DZG opting to go in here with the blind Trundle and maybe answering the Jinx here with the King. So we will have the range advantage in the bot lane, and negative hovering Ziggs, Caitlyn, Ziggs.
Guaranteed skill shot, and one is
there
guaranteed.
We go.
Looks like we're opting for the skill shot.
Opting for the skill shot, so hopefully they're a little bit better than the Super Mega Death Rockets that we saw in the first 2 games. But you know, this is a comfortable bot lane that we've seen DZG Reels play quite often. Now, do you have any thoughts here for the Trundle into the Hecarim?
I think it's still the Hecarim favored, just simply because he's going to get to the lane ganks a lot quicker, and unless DZG is able to set up their lanes for the ganks for Trundle, there isn't going to be much other except for when DZG Heartbreak is able to glitch Catalyst into the wall with his pillars.
So there's also a role that could be a top lane Trundle. We do know that they've been playing a lot of tank tops from the side of Catalyst, but that Lulu coming in really indexes heavily into a hyper scaling AD carry. So they need some options to be able to take him out. But and maybe Catalyst is thinking the same thing I am, right? They see a Jarvan ban, so maybe they're thinking that this Trundle is going into the top lane. Mundo taken away here from the side of DZG Olympus, eliminating some of these tank options, and now the Thresh coming out away from Genshu. So maybe he's going to play something like the Rakan again. I necessarily wouldn't want to pair it with the Ziggs. But you definitely could. Definitely an option here. As last ban coming through for DZG, imagine it'll be another top laner here. Unless they have some sort of read on what they're worried about for a mid lane counter under the Victor. But that will be another top lane ban. So Queen, see you coming into the chat. We actually are tied up series 1-1 right now, going into game 3. But so my thoughts of this could be a top lane Trundle, and then they turn around and knock out 2 tanky top laners from the side of Catalyst Wraith. So I have no idea what to expect. Kind of like this whole entire series has been. My expectations are completely thrown out the window here. So what do you think, Silent?
Well, I mean, even with the Trundle pick, if it goes to top lane, it still makes sense because you don't want to see a Mundo run at your team while they have 2 AP damage, and then you don't want them to scale any further with an Ornn item. So it seems like Catalyst is forced into tanks. It doesn't seem like they're able to play anything other than tanks comfortably, and that's the role that they have on the Catalyst team. So that Trundle still works, and having been on the receiving end of that Trundle to a Cho'Gath matchup, it is definitely in favor of the Trundle early, but the Cho'Gath scales better.
Well, I think the side of Catalyst really wanted to see what this jungle was going to be so they could decide what they want for the mid lane. Xin Zhao coming out here from the side of DZG Heartbreak, and we were right with the prediction that is going to be a top lane trundle. So, Octofu definitely getting what he wants and having a little bit of a tank killing threat up in the top lane, being able to, I believe it's called Subjugate, utilize his ultimate there on that tanky threat, get a lot of stats, be able to hopefully put this Cho'Gath down on the ground. And that will give Blitzcrank, or that last pick here for DZG will be that Blitzcrank. So hopefully he lands some hooks, throws Jinx and Lulu into a little bit of a fiasco here. But this gives a lot of safety to the mid lane pick, and they're going to opt to go for a Syndra. So going here for the Control Mage matchup, and Syndra's Scout of the Week will really be able to help her deal with some of these Xin Zhao connects if he ever lands that W. So wow, alright, definitely an interesting draft phase coming out here. A lot of adaptations, a lot of differences that we're seeing coming out from either side. And Silent, ultimately, how are you feeling seeing both teams now?
I feel like it can go either way. I think both offer a lot for each team. For example, the adaptation of a Blitzcrank pick, because there's a Lulu, that Rakan no longer works into the other team because you'll risk that polymorph, and then eventually you just get CC'd by the rest of the team. So having that Blitz makes the other team come to you instead of you going into the enemy team. In addition, it kind of adds a little bit of safety for Zig, so that way he doesn't have to worry about trying to bail out his teammate, and he can just continue throwing out damage. Victor and Syndra, we're gonna see another game where that Shattered Crown is going to make an appearance again, and if Syndra manages to machine gun all her abilities into one combo, it's not going to make as much of a dent due to that passive from the Crown. But I do see that if it was me, I would definitely want to gank top early in order to force out that Cho'Gath. If you can put that Cho'Gath behind a little bit longer, then you don't have to worry about the feast on neutral objectives, since Catalyst has been forcing the objective timers. We saw that they got all 4 Drakes around the 21-minute mark, I believe. And so right now they have another one to ensure that they get these objectives, but if you can put that Trundle in an ability to force that split push, it is going to punish Cho'Gath's ability to join the team.
And I love that you brought up the Drake point, because not counting the Elder Dragons, because holy hell, there were so many of them in game 1, and I don't even remember who got them all. I think it was 2-1 in favor of DZG, but when it comes down to the normal Drakes, we're looking at an 8-1 Drake kill score in favor of Catalyst. Like, they have been all over that objective. Now, granted, Heartbreak in game 1 had a very, heads-up play getting the first Drake, but, a Mountain Soul and a Hextech Soul almost going completely uncontested over to the side of Catalyst was extremely damning for the side of DZG. And kind of like we talked about earlier, I feel that if Catalyst had gotten a better Soul game 1 instead of a Mountain Soul, if they had gotten the Chem Soul, or if they got the Hextech Soul, that could have been a very different game 1. So DZG now need to identify how to play around these objectives, especially since they now need to worry about this Cho'Gath speed that you mentioned. So there's a lot of things to consider, but ultimately I really want to see what kind of chaos this Blitzcrank can for sure.
Yeah, hope maybe we'll even get to see that victorious Blitzcrank skin.
Yeah, I've got it. I've yet to use it. I tried to sub in for an Elysium scrim, but Alyssa wouldn't let me. So I was like, I'm just gonna play Blitzcrank and play the new skin. But Alyssa was like, nope, I'll deal with it, and kept subbing for you. But no, like I really want to see DZG pull out here. Of course, me being biased, DZG fanboy. But I'm a little scared of the Jinx Lulu threat here from the side of Catalyst, certainly, especially with the way that they played the last game. Now, granted, it was a completely different identity, but Catalyst bot lane has definitely seen a lot stronger in this series style.
They have, but now we're seeing DZG with a poke comp, so that within the bot lane at least with the Ziggs, So honestly, she should be shoved off the wave, and Jinx can't really do much if Ziggs is able to utilize his abilities and bounce those grenades into Jinx's positions. In addition, that Blitzcrank is going to position in a way that will hopefully allow Ziggs to get a better opportunity to poke at the Jinx, since Lulu will probably try to stick close behind the minion wave instead of trying to get some push control.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from Silent. Real quick, you've seen both teams. Who you giving the dub to for Game 3?
I'm gonna go with some favoritism and bias and go for DZG.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. We'll ignore the fact that it was probably biased. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking you into the spectate delay. We'll be bringing you back Game 3 of DZG Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith. Hang tight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back bringing you Game 3 of DZG Olympus versus Catalyst Wraith. And, yeah, so we're seeing them ask for a remake because it looks like both bot laners of Catalyst here have exhaust as silent. That's a little no bueno. As the stream is freezing up just a little bit. Let me go ahead and see if I can't fix this. Please and thank you. No? Are you gonna be nice? All right. Yep. Cool. It is being nice now. So, let's go ahead and get rid of these time controls. But yeah. So, double exhaust bot lane. That's a little bit of a feels bad here. Silent.
Yeah, but it's gonna make this game 3 a little bit interesting. I really don't see else they could have really ran, because if Jinx gets pulled, you really do want that exhaust on Jinx, and vice versa. I think honestly, a double exhaust isn't extremely bad. I think it's still workable. It's not like one of them took like Jinx took TP or something.
Right, so just a little bit of a communication snafu. So we are seeing DZG do exactly what they did, or what Catalyst did last game. They did the 5-man invade on the top side, got the ward down, but we won't be seeing any Blitzcrank shenanigans. Fortunately, if you're a Catalyst fan, they did the exact same thing that I said that DZG should have done last game, and got the ward on that red buff there. So both teams are gonna kind of know where everybody's starting and know a little bit of the lay of the land for these objectives. So, or I'm sorry, for these jungle paths. So it's a little bit beneficial for both teams, but I don't think too much is going to happen here. So where are you really expecting to see things break out? Because I mean, last game we kind of were expecting the early ganks coming in from the Charv. And while we did see it, it didn't really amount to much, and it turned out to be a wild-ass bot lane play that really shifted things. But what are you really expecting the early game tempo to look like here, Solid?
As long as Trundle doesn't take too many hits in the early game, I think once he reaches level 3, he can really abuse this Cho'Gath, who does not really have that much HP. In terms of bot lane, it's dependent on Blitzcrank to get the hook as well as his E. Simply, well, we were hoping they'll need him landing his hooks in addition. But as long as Ziggs can get this poke, Syndra's definitely taking advantage of her poke at level 2, so we're just seeing, I mean, it's kind of like the same game all over again. Top lane is the wet noodle fight, mid lane is the poke.
Oh, we got the hook! And that wasn't an exhaust or anything coming out of there for the Jinx, so just a good bit of damage coming over. So the hook connecting, that was nice to see. A little bit of follow damage coming out, and I'm a Gen Cell, not sitting too happy there with that half health bar, but yeah, hopefully these hooks do connect. I want to see some spicy League of Legends and really see a lot of these plays boil out. But do you think with the Trundle pick coming in and him having a little bit more of a favorable matchup into that top lane that you're going to see some top lane focus coming here out of the side of DZG? Also, another thing to point out real quick, I want to bring your attention to the fact that he went with a Glacial Cho'Gath. So he's running down now to DZG Heartbreak, who took the Herald, does connect onto Pagarok. Pagarok is going to be ticking, forced to flash out. When Become Lightning does connect onto Shady Gecko, but I don't think he'll be taking that, and that is a flash coming out of Pagarok's Cho'Gath. Also, Astro, we will not be doing any replays for you. Sorry.
We'll see if the top wave management, if Trundle can kind of freeze the wave. Otherwise, that Cho'Gath will be unable to really break the freeze, since Zhao is kind of hovering that top area at the moment. But I do believe that Catalyst is going to force this early Drake yet again.
Well, I as well they should. They have the Hacker Room, they have the bot lane, the more traditional bot lane. But yeah, if he's not able to break this freeze, this is going to feel really bad for Pagarok here. Who DCG Heartbreak is now going on top of. Dodges out of the knock-up from Cho'Gath. When Become Lightning does connect. I don't think he'll take this under the tower, and he does not. But yeah, if he's able to maintain that freeze, Cho'Gath sitting here half health is already almost at a almost 20 CS deficit at 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. This feels really bad for the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, he still has the benefits of scaling, so he's not in a terrible position as long as he's able to begin farming. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, which is just soaking some XP, even though he's not getting any gold. So he won't be able to buy items, but at the very least, he'll be roughly the same level, provided that he doesn't get any more further ganks.
Well, good news for him is this wave will push into him, and he's going to be able to utilize his Q and W or whatever else may have you to really soak up some of these CS. But yeah, 25 CS deficit this early in the game does feel bad. I mean, yeah, he's still doing okay in the experience department, but um, yeah, that's gonna set him behind pretty far. And DZG sitting on a 500 gold lead, mainly just off the CS advantages that they have in almost every position next jungle.
Yeah, we're gonna hopefully see DZG able to push the lead that they're getting with. Oh, we're getting another freeze.
Oh, cool. We've got another pause coming in. So, they did ask in the chat, is it pause per game or per series? But now the 80 carries keyboard isn't working. So, fun times all around with the pauses. And, I'm glad that they can have pauses, keeps competitive integrity, but as a caster or as an observer, bloody hell does it suck.
And especially when we're about to lose visual of those TPs again.
Yeah, that's another thing to consider. So right now they're all up. So we'll try to keep that in mind as we move forward. But um, maybe. Oh, cool. Right back into it. So not terrible. We didn't lose the teleports for now. As DZG Heartbreak and Shady Gecko having a little bit of a battle here in the top side jungle. Shady Gecko connected with Wind Becomes Lightning. DZG Heartbreak won't be able to follow it up. But Mobster Penguin is here. Gravity Field will zone him off a little bit. And the laser connects, giving the assist over to Mobster Penguin. But the kill ultimately going over to DZG Heartbreak. That feels damn good if you're a DZG fan, as we are having a little bit of a hiccup here with the Paul causing some shenanigans. Back that ass up, and then go ahead and move forward, and should free the timer up here.
And it
As
looks like DZG is about to go for that dragon.
yeah,
As they're grabbing
DZG.
priority.
Yeah, first time Hecarim does not get first strike here, so that's gonna feel really good. And yeah, Shady Gecko just trying to take too much. Now Tofu fighting in this minion wave, not really giving a shit about it and just doing a lot of damage here. Now I think that trade not going really as far in his favor as it could have, but he should be able to establish a defensive wave state here, and that's gonna be extremely beneficial for him as DZG will take the first strike off the map. It's not gonna be a Hextech Rift here, but now the members of Catalyst or posturing. Genshu forced to flash out, now stuck in the pit, doesn't have flash available. Have to imagine he falls, and yeah, Shady Gecko will take down DCG. Genshu, huge stun coming out from Catasol, will actually use Unleashed Power, take down, I believe that was Heartbreak, and then DCG Real falling up, immediately dying after, and that was a lot of gold going over into Catalyst pockets. They lost the Drake, but got 2 kills over into Syndra, 1 kill onto Shady Gecko, and, that I think that equalizes pretty well in the favor of Catalyst here, Silent.
It does, but to DZG's luck, none of it went to the Jinx.
Well, that is beneficial, but going over to the Syndra will hurt some of their burst potential here and really offer them a lot, especially since we really wanted to see this mid lane beat the X Factor. But Catasol getting on top of, or I'm sorry, getting bursted up here, damage going down, and the shutdown will go over to DZG Heartbreak, who, will be able to pop some carries himself. So a quick heads up play for DZG Heartbreak to loop back around onto the Syndra, who he, knew really didn't have too much after that play down there with the Dragon. Definitely swinging things back over in favor of DZG, who once again take that gold lead. So, go
I
ahead.
do think that I'm super aggressive with this call on red. There are 3 members of Catalyst that are able to react to this, so I'm not sure if this is the best call, but it does look like they'll safely get that red.
Maybe not too safely as Cho'Gath is here looking, but they had the Blast Cone, take it out, and you're absolutely right. That is a safe call for them. Get in there, take what they want, and get out. And, we're still looking at a 20 CS lead in the top lane. Yeah, the CS lead isn't in favor of Heartbreak in the jungle, but he's sitting on 2 kills, probably feeling quite comfortable himself. So, DZG having a much better early game in some of these plays and not really having that big boo-boo that they had in the bot lane yet. So, let's hope things stay like that as... DZG's bot lane is probably going to be the X factor here for whether or not they're able to really submit the full strength of this game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Hecarim wants to do with top lane since he doesn't have quite that much mana. I feel like you've got maybe one charge and then
Well, he's looking for it here. Knockup will connect. He's able to um, use his Onslaught of Shadows to get behind, but then turn around immediately as DCG Heartbreak connects with Wind Become Lightning, but will not take it. That was a beautiful flash from Octofu to really deny that charge and get himself into a safe position. Chaos Storm coming out, Ultimate coming out, and Unleash Power from Syndra, so ultimately that will go over to DCG side, mid lane. Monster Penguin able to really push Catasoul back and really establish himself in a comfortable position and then move up for this Herald. So Syndra should be too low to be able to contest this.
and similar to game one, Shady Gecko has placed a ward near mid turret.
Well, we see DCG Heartbreak flash over on to Pagarok on this Cho'Gath here, who's immediately forced to run away. Gravity Field comes down, will slow him up, I think enough for Mobster Penguin to take this kill. Now we see DZG once again shifting focus back onto this Herald. And hey, if you are a Catalyst, you cannot fight this. Blitzcrank sitting here in the mid lane. He doesn't have the rest of his team with him. Might look here for the hook, does get the hook onto Shady Gecko's Hecarim, but Hecarim is a fast boy, pops the speed, is able to get out, and DZG, I guess just will not have the position here to go for that Herald. Actually, now DCG Heartbreak shifting his focus once again back onto this objective, and DZG just sending the people where they need to be to get what they need, and plays right now in this early game coming up in their favor for sure.
Yeah, that roam fight blitz was great. Unfortunately, he was unable to zone out that Syndra. I think if he had decided instead to just ult the Syndra while he was right next to her instead of trying to position closer to his team for that pull, I honestly think he would have bought enough time for the rest of his team to join in the fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and just unfortunately with Hecarim having Phase Rush, having just that E available to him, that speed is insane. I mean, they still almost got him despite it, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. Top lane's still going the same way that it's been going this entire game. The CS lead that Tofu has built is diminishing just a little bit. Cho'Gath's still feeling relatively fine, I think, but definitely going to be interesting to see where DCG Heartbreak decides to utilize this Herald and really get some of
Yeah,
that play gold into one of his members.
I'm honestly surprised top lane hasn't made more of an effort from both sides to try to freeze it on their side. We literally just tuned in to watch that Cho'Gath uses Q on an entire wave of minions, and then we just watched Trundle completely decimate the wave just to push the wave back toward the turret. So I feel like Cho'Gath is definitely having that advantage right now because he wants that minion wave at his turret so he could freely feast whenever his ult is on cooldown for the 6 minions that he can feast on.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised as we are seeing once again everything being jockeyed over here. The Drake started up. Blitzcrank I don't think was able to connect somebody, but the Gravity Field goes in. Chaos Storm goes in as well and doing a lot of damage because of the explosive satchel used. But Hecarim just says, okay, my rest of the team can fight here, but he went ahead and secured the dragon while the rest of DCG were just trying to look for plays. They just got it literally taken out right from under their noses. I think they were definitely in a strong position there, Silent, to be able to take that objective. But, Shady Gecko kept his finger on the trigger, smited the dragon, and was able to get away with it. Wouldn't become lightning connects, but I just think it's going to be a Raptor camp steal here as Herald utilized mid. Tower is going to be sitting still on 2 plates, and they're not going to be able to get that objective entirely. But that is still a good chunk of gold going into the side of DZG's pocket, Silent.
Yeah, it did look like his team kind of body blocked Sinzao from getting to be able to get near that dragon due to everyone kind of piling in alongside that wall, so no one really was able to contest that Drake despite all the wards that were provided in Vision. But it looks like they're
Out of
about to
focus
crack
here
top.
going on to Pagarok as Chaos Storm will drop down, but it will actually not secure the kill as Octofu takes that one for himself. Mobster Penguin with a great roam, DCG Heartbreak with a great gank, but I don't think they'll get too much more out of it just because both Syndra and Hecarim are up here to help out. Jinx did fire a Super Mega Death Rocket up there, but first tower will actually fall to DZG. That satchel coming in huge for DZG Reels, who he will actually be setting up 600 gold, and for the first time in this series, DCG's bot lane's looking a lot more in a comfortable position.
And we are seeing that rotation from mid lane to bot, which means that Ziggs is going to have an opportunity to satchel that mid turret, which also happens to have 2 plates.
Fantastic, and that's one thing that we've seen a lot of Ziggs do, and it's actually something we saw Elysium do before. I believe it was you piloting the Ziggs, and they just moved you and CJ around from outer tower to outer tower to outer tower, and just blew up all those towers. And it's such a huge influx of gold, especially so early in the game. If you're able to take all those outers, it's outstanding. And not only that, but it frees up the map so much and gives the team a lot of agency to be able to take what they want on the map. Now, hopefully, they're able to put their nose to the stone and really, actually secure those objectives, because as it stands right now, it's true Drakes to 9 for Catalyst in this series. So now Pagarok getting engaged on by Tofu again, who's just running around smacking him with the club. Takes about 45% of his health before he just finally walks away. But yeah, that Trundle is doing work up there in that top lane versus that Cho'Gath. Now DZG Genshu looking, will he be able to find it? Does not actually opt to go for it. I think he probably had an angle on the Jinx, but just didn't have the chance to go for that, as they're just, I think, looking here to really secure this tower. A couple autos onto it and a satchel charge should blow that thing to hell and back. So once again, Tofu going on, and Pagarok just instantly flashes once that subjugate came down. So I think that was probably the right move. I think if he didn't flash, that was going to be a very scary Trundle. Ooh, I don't think that Satchel has enough just yet, and it does not. So, DZG, we're hoping to get an auto tour on that Silent.
Yeah, Ziggs had already backed off, so he was unable to add it, but then Mobster Penguin tried to force, see if he could lower it just enough for the team.
Oh, well, Octofu is looking a little bit of an awkward position here, as that Shady Gecko will come up there and get on top of him. Cho'Gath opting to utilize the Feast, I believe, get himself a little stack. And, yeah, we're seeing that shift of the pressure, as Shady Gecko just had the agency that he needed. Tofu forced to use his flash, but not enough to get away, unfortunately. So, but still, DZG feeling like, in my opinion, at least in a commanding position here. Catasol in a great place to try to ambush Mobster Penguin, but just Victor being so strong right now, I don't think it would have actually gone in her favor. So blue buff getting donated on, and Catalyst just don't own their top side or their bot side jungle. Drake coming up here in a minute, and hopefully DZG will jockey and put themselves in the proper position for this one this time. Now, we're seeing it again. I don't think he's going to be able to get that auto attack onto that tower, so it feels real bad. But I think he should have just been a little patient. There are no members of Catalyst around to be able to stop him. Maybe they just didn't have the vision to know. But he throws another satchel. Third one's the charm, and it will take down that mid lane tower, as they're posturing around this top side of the map, actually. Hopefully looking for a pick here, as Blitzcrank walks forward, doesn't opt to take the hook onto Shady Gecko, and Shady Gecko and the rest of Catalyst heading down here for the Drake that spawns in 15 seconds. DCG instead going for the Herald now. Silent, do you feel like this is the right trade for them to make?
So honestly, there's definitely some big risks with the decision that they're making, because if this game gets too late, the Ocean Soul is definitely going to make an impact with the fact that they have a Hecarim and a Cho'Gath able to heal, but at the same time, they do have a Zig, so if they happen to run mid with an opportunity and is able to drop Rift Herald there, they'll be able to satchel both turrets that are remaining, provided that Catalyst doesn't provide too staunch of a defense.
Well, I want to point out to you that they actually opted to give that Herald over to Tofu, so I think they're just really looking to bust this Trundle out of the lane in this Cho'Gath, because Cho'Gath seems just perfectly content farming under tower. And this actually might be a dive attempt coming up here, as we're seeing a lot of pings coming up on this top side of the map. DCG Heartbreak is here, Genshu is here, and Cho'Gath should know. He has the ward there, so he's able to silence it out. Knockup comes through, the Wind Becomes Lightning comes through as well. Zig's ultimate comes down, a lot of damage coming out. That pillar's going to stop any hope that he had, and DZG Heartbreak will take down the Pagarok's Cho'Gath here. Now we're seeing Mobster Penguin looking a little bit in trouble here, but he's forced to flash out. One side of Shadows won't be able to get enough, as this will be a lot of damage coming down. You have to think this actually might be the base tower falling. That Herald charge plus the Zig Satchel might be enough. Now Mobster Penguin coming in here to try to interrupt some backs. Might cost him his life, but it might secure his team a base break, as yes, it absolutely does. Now, damage coming out. The hook comes out, connects onto Shady Gecko on this Hecarim. He falls. I'm sorry, that was I'm a Jinsel. Jinx will actually fall. I don't know why I got mixed up on that, but yeah, certainly DZG just cracking into the base, taking out even top lane inhib as that did fall as well. I think that was worth Mobster Penguin's life there, Silent.
I agree. There was definitely some efficiency lost in the top lane fights. I don't believe that Tofu should have released that repel for that first turret since it was already relatively low. I honestly
Hmm.
think they could have just used that Ziggs passive and then satchel it. And then you notice that Ginshu didn't seem to trust his hook when he ran all the way at the blitz instead of trying to hook him toward his team. Instead, he ran all the way to use his E and then tried to CC enough. So there's definitely been some lost trust on his hook in this past 19-minute game.
Definitely could have been more efficient, but I think they got what they wanted there. Now, unfortunately, um, this inhib will not really benefit them too much. There's not too much on the map that they can then really try for unless they shift all their focus into the bot lane and really just aim to super accelerate the game. There's no objectives really up for them to utilize this top lane pressure, and the next objective that does come up is going to be this Nash. So top lane inhib when Nash is your kind of focus isn't the ideal situation. And it's going to give this Jinx some time to farm up. Now, Scout of the Week connects on the Reels, who is actually able to utilize his satchel to get away. Almost died there, but Syndra just does not have the damage, only sitting on one item 20 minutes into this game. As Mobster Penguin getting a lot of damage and will get hit with the onslaught shadows and then charge right back in. But he is now safe as Shady Gecko looking for it, but Genshu will take him down. Tofu looking on to get onto the Syndra, uses Subjugate on the Syndra, but will back away as all the members of Catalyst are sitting healthy under the tower. Pagrock looking for anything that he can get and just absolutely cucked as he just does not have the ability to get on top of Reels there to utilize his feast. Reels sitting super low. Health bars of DZG super low, but they just did not have the follow through to be able to hit onto these DZG members with the low health bars. Top lane Super Minion Wave is now pressuring onto the Nexus towers as DZG set their focus onto these the Baron Nashor.
Yeah, they're developing a lot of pressure on the map and able to force the pace of this game so that the Jinx is unable to scale. At the moment, she did opt for the Gale Force, which is interesting. I've never been a fan of the Gale Force on Jinx just because I prefer to put a Kraken Slayer or even a Shield Bow, but due to the nerfs of the Shield Bow, maybe Gale Force is opted more preferred for some Jinxes nowadays. I am interested in seeing if this Baron is going to put them in position to get this next Drake, or will they force a team fight and try to just end the game early?
I feel like they should just try to barrel into the base. They're sitting at a 6k gold lead. These fights have been going extremely well into their favor. The Syndra hasn't been really able to burst any of the priority targets, and just due to the pressure that she's feeling, she's opting to go into a Zanya's second item instead of a pure damage item. Um, your Xin Zhao is strong. You have the Ziggs available with the poke. You have a strong Victor as well. I feel like you just look for an ideal opportunity to barrel into the base, and that's what they're doing in this mid lane. This mid lane tower is going to fall 100%. They're not even going to blow Satchel on it. They're going to look to use it for the next tower here, as Tofu's feeling very comfortable in taking in that bot lane tower. So DZG, I think, are making the right play, utilizing this Nash to full effectiveness, and getting a lot more of that gold lead into their pocket. They're sitting now at 8k. Now Shady Gecko, one of the biggest engage tools because he just got hit by that hook, no longer has his ultimate available. So DZG should just barrel into this base. I think they can crack the base even more than it already is, especially utilizing these Herald waves, or I'm sorry, these Nash waves. Now they're opting to go into Pagrock, who you have to think is dead to rights. Absolutely. DZG Heartbreak on a rampage. Syndra now being the target. Wild Growth utilized on Syndra. Shady Gecko will now fall. DZG sitting so strong. Chaos Storm will do the final take on the Cattle. DZG, you have to think that this is going to be the game here, as they were just barreling in. They have supers in the top side. They have a wave. I'm sorry. They have this inhib falling on the bot side, and they have Ziggs available to them still. So DZG will now focusing on these Nexus towers. One down. You have to think this is going to be two down. DZG have all 5 members here. Nexus is ticking, and you see I'm a Jinsel doing everything that he can, but it will not be enough as they will get the shutdown. But this will be game 3 going over to DZG as they take down Catalyst Wraith in a 23-minute bloodbath of a game. Silent.
Yeah, honestly, it's interesting to see how much of a bot gap there was in this game. Jinx finally
Oh, lost you a little bit as I get out of the game. Riot client OP as always, but let's
I
hope
did zero
this cleans
damage.
up. Yeah, so I definitely want to see this. It looked like the Jinx from game two. The damage from the Jinx just never felt like it was there. And yeah, you have 5,000 damage compared to the 10,000 damage. But I mean, this game was so fast that you never really even had the fights for these damage numbers to hit 5 digits really. So fantastically played by DZG. I think they did the right decisions, utilizing the Ziggs to full effectiveness, breaking Tofu out of the lane with that Herald play. And big shout out to Mobster Penguin. He was like, hey, look, I see that both the Hecarim and the Syndra are trying to recall to stop this. And he sacrificed himself to stop those backs and really help destroy that base. That base led to so much pressure, and then the free Nash that they were able to get on top of the picks that they were able to generate. Game three looked like the DZG Olympus I wanted to see. Silent.
I agree, and honestly, I think teams will eventually start noticing that this Ziggs is definitely a hidden tool that DZG Olympus has utilized to their benefit multiple times. I'm curious to see if someone is going to start banning the Ziggs just to force this ADC onto more AD champs instead of that AP poke.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us once again. Week 7 of Lotus Primrose League. DZG taking this series in typical DZG Olympus fashion, 2-1 versus Catalyst Wraith. We're actually going to pass over our stream now to a friend of our coach, Aiden. His name is Kiriago. So go ahead, check out his stream, and hopefully you enjoy your time over there. Peace.